got the pounder. Like, I don't want the double, the trip. I want the pound. Like, how many patties can y'all put on here, bro? In the days where I was, cause I don't smoke anymore. But the days where I was getting
juice for real. I got the 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 juice for real. This right here is gon' pay my bills. This right here is gon' pay my bills. This right here get you laid chill. This right here get you laid chills. I found a secret, I know that it's confidence. Do this for my team, ain't no need for acknowledgement. I say that you peepin' cause I got a lot of hits. I got a lot of hits. I said I got a lot of hits. One track I just give them that. Another track I just give them this. They like when a nigga rap, but I got some other gifts. These are artists they wanna tag. Middle finger to government.
Eat Burger King food. It's a McDonald's directly across the street. On my lunch break, I would go eat McDonald's and then come back and eat Burger King. That's a problem, bro. Like, people don't understand. Fast food is really addictive. Yeah. Like, it's really is. Yeah, it really is. It's crap. There's just a lot of absolute nonsense. Welcome to the Any Last Words Pod. A very special thanks to everybody that will be joining us today on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, as well as YouTube. Please do not forget to follow us at ALW Pod on Instagram. The God in me honors the God in each and every one of you. Yes, it is I, Earl Lonnie Hooks. Today we have Shiffy P. Doee. I love spelling this. I've done this a few times.
What's going on?
SHIFFY space capital P dot space capital DOEE.
Don't forget the two E's.
Don't forget the two E's. Would you like, for intents and purposes, in this to be called Rashad or Shiffy?
Man, you call me whatever, bro.
Whatever. All right, let's do it.
You actually know me, so you can call me Rashad.
Okay, okay,
cool.
cool.
Yeah, man, my name's Shiffy. Yeah, no.
Do you ever tell that to people? Nah, I'm Shiffy to you.
Nah, hell nah. Hell nah. I'm a regular dude, man. I ain't on that Hollywood type of shit.
Oh yeah, you did I saw when we did talk about trying to get you on the podcast, and I think Keon was trying to break it down to you that we were just in no position to have that be the case, and you were just like, oh, this nigga went Hollywood. He was like, nah, man, like, we really suck. Like, we really can't do it. That's fucking hilarious. How do you feel today, sir?
Man, I feel good, man. It's good to be back home. Been seeing the loved ones, the lady, man, and just kicking it. My birthday was yesterday, so.
Hey, yeah, very nice. Happy belated.
Thank you, brother.
Good to see you made it around again.
32, man, you know.
I turned 31 January 4th.
Oh, word.
So I just had mine too.
Okay, happy belated.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
So are you what? You a Capricorn?
I am Capricorn.
Okay, but so I'm an Aquarius.
You're an Aquarius. Okay. Yeah. I know nothing about any of this
stuff. I really
stuff.
don't either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's just cool. All right. Shit to ask.
Does your girl do any of the
astrology?
Okay.
She's big on that.
Okay. So what does she tell you about yourself?
I mean, personally, looking into it myself, Aquarius are generally introverted people, which I am.
Okay.
They're creatives.
Okay. Which you are.
Yeah, which I am. So I mean, pretty much what I've seen is it lines up with the type of person that I am.
When did you find out the creative part of yourself?
Man, bro, I would say shit, since I was a youngin', bro. Like, I remember being, man, probably like 4 or 5 years old, like leaving voicemails on my grandmother's phone, like rapping Snoop Dogg. Seriously.
Oh, like, yeah. Well, first of all, what'd your grandma have to say about you rapping Snoop on her voicemails?
Shit. I mean, she was just happy that, you know, I would call her.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
You know, Granny just wants you to call, have some communication.
That's very true. That's very true.
That's pretty much it.
That's very important.
Yeah.
My grandma grandma passed on the 5th.
I send my condolences. That's tough, man, when Granny passed. Granny was actually, for me, the first death that I experienced, and that was when I was 19. So, I took that shit hard, bro.
Yeah, Yeah, how'd you deal with it? Did you?
Man.
Because I have a young sister. She's 20.
Yeah.
And I see where she's dealing with it. And it's, you know, I mean, everybody deals with stuff differently.
Yeah.
Everybody's at different levels of understanding and of just emotional intelligence and things of that sort. So how did you?
I mean, it's crazy how life works because like I saw her decline as well as my mom's. So it's like it progressively got worse. So it's like you kind of are prepared for it, but you're never really prepared for it. Yeah. So you just take it as it comes. And they say just take that shit day by day, bro.
Yeah, that's I had a conversation with my father the day after.
How's Pops doing?
He's doing well. You know, it's always difficult to tell though, isn't it? You know, you try to stay busy. Yeah. You know, right now he's taking a lot of walks. Like he's just constantly walking, just trying to expel energy. Yeah. You know? And which is probably something maybe the gym has been for like us, just getting fucking energy out. So, and for me, I know it definitely clears my head and helps me think better when I exercise for sure. 100%. Like when I go in the gym and exercise, things that I like have been percolating in my mind, just find a way of settling and I can just see clearly and I can just like easily look and pick at and understand things much easier. Like when I'm on a Stairmaster, for sure, it's like something about cardio.
Out when you doing cardio.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's what it is. So that helps. So I think he's doing a lot of that. I know he's seeing a lot of loved ones. Yeah, he's something I've loved is when I was young. So your parents are looking at you get older, right? Grandparents, parents, guardians of all sorts, uncles, but if you have any sort of awareness or wherewithal, you're also seeing them grow.
It's that circle of life.
Right? Yeah. So I remember who my dad was when I was younger, and he's not that nigga. He's a completely different person. And he's clearly going through a lot, but it's interesting to see older people continue to evolve and change in new fascinating ways. Yeah. And so I say all that to say he's much more open to speaking about things than I remember him being when I was younger. Yeah. So the next day, so January 6th, we're talking about, you know, the passing and we're having all sorts of, remembrances of her and things that we used to do, parties that we threw for my grandmother, things like that, all sorts of stuff. Right. And we're just sharing stories. Some of them are funny. Some of them are sad. Some of them are, you know, sort of contentious depending upon who it is we're talking about. You know, because everybody didn't have the best relationship with her. And that's the one that sort of sucks. You know what I mean? And he was saying after his father died, so my grandfather Earl also, back in, I always get this wrong, but I think it was like 2007 or something like that. It was around there. It was somewhere between 2005 2009. I should definitely know, but I don't. Okay. And he said ever since that moment, he was always trying to get himself prepared for his mom to go. In whatever way, shape, or form you could try to do so. Like maybe you just try to run simulations through your mind. Yeah. Like if I come home and I get the call, like what am I going to do?
How am I going to handle it?
Yeah, how am I going to go about it? Like, am I going to be the person that starts making all the calls and, you know, getting all the procession in order? Like what am I going to do? And so you think about it and you think about it and you think that you contemplating these thoughts gets you ready for it. Yeah. And he was like, nah, that shit does not get you ready for it. Nah. When he was like, never
prepared, bro.
He was like, when it happens, it's real. Yeah. So, and I definitely can understand that because he's saying even as we're having this conversation right now, Earl, it still doesn't quite. It's still an abstract idea, right? Until it happens, and I definitely feel that because the day that he goes, I'm certain it's going to be a very, very interesting day for me. Yeah. Very, very. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. When you just have someone that's just, they've always been there.
Let me ask you this. Did you go visit her like right after she passed? Did you go to the hospital?
So she passed in the house.
Yeah. My mom did too.
Yeah, so I went straight. Yeah, like I got the call at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You could barely get the words out. He's like, "We lost her." I was like, "I'm on the way," and I drove straight there. And I met like the police officers and the funeral attendees like at the door, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was your initial thought, like just walking in to a place like that?
I mean, so it sounds, I don't know how it sounds. It would sound differently to every individual listening to my voice right now, but it could come off as callous or cold or as though I'm lying.
Yeah.
But I was so at peace with this.
That's good, man.
I was at peace with it. But I've read this book, and I do recommend it to people. It's called How to Change Your Mind. It's by Michael Pollan.
Okay.
He's like,
we'll wrap after this because I'm trying to get more into books.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay.
I think I may still have that one in here. Yeah, it's either in here or it's in my car. But this book is mostly about psychedelics. It's about psychedelics and what it teaches us about, or what the new science about psychedelic teaches us about death, fear, anxiety, consciousness, experience, all this sort of stuff. And there does seem to be a common trend amongst people that take psychedelic drugs. I won't say just all people that do, because I have come across people that take it and it's just like a drug to them. Like they're just trying to get high and experience fucking paintings moving around on the walls and feeling euphoria and all sorts of stuff like that. And maybe having some sex on it, which, clearly shoots you to another galaxy. Yeah. So I get that. And I've also experienced all those things as well. But within those things, when we talk about an abstract idea, like my dad was saying, this is an abstract idea. It's not real until it happens to you. My experience with psychedelics has been that you have your consciousness. You could sort of like draw a circle around yourself and what you believe to understand, the things that you truly understand, and not just understand through like books and words, like on a logical level. You feel that shit in your heart. Like you feel like gravity is real. Yeah. Not just that you kind of understand that there's something called gravity and it keeps us all held down. Like you walk through life with a belief that if you jump up in the air, you're not just going to take off. Like you believe that shit in your heart and soul. You believe that most days the sky is going to be blue. There might be some cool crimson colors and some shit going on.
Get the cotton candy blend.
The cotton candy blend, which is dope. Maybe the sorbet, the sherbet, sunrise or sunset. So you understand these things. And then there's some things that you read or you're going on about life and you understand on an abstract level, but it's not quite embedded in your soul quite yet. So what I've experienced on psychedelics is that it allows your consciousness to sort of expand and absorb those things that were just on the outside of what your consciousness just was. You understood it on just like a logistical level. And then your consciousness, your mind was able to sort of free itself or expand a bit more. And you were able to feel a whole lot more, as well as just, psychologically understand something. And then you were able to understand. So for instance, it's like, we're all connected. You hear that a lot. Like we're all connected. We're all human beings. We're all connected. It's like, okay, that sounds nice. Yeah. And then a lot of people don't really know what that feels like until you do something that allows you to get outside of your own ego.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that's the reason why people choose to do psychedelics in nature? Because, you said that we're all one, so you could kind of feel the trees, you could feel whatever's around you.
Yeah, I think that's why that's a huge trend. Doing ayahuasca, magic mushrooms, all that sort of stuff, and just people being out, feet just in the dirt, feeling leaves and trees and the wind blowing, leaves rustling, all that sort of stuff. I believe that's a huge thing. Because when I'm out just hiking in general, I feel grounded in at complete peace. Yeah. Every time I'm hiking and I'm going up a mountain and I'm looking off the side of the mountain, there hasn't been one time. It's sort of like going to the gym and leaving and thinking, I shouldn't have done that. never happens.
Yeah.
You never regret going to the gym and like it never seems like that was a bad idea when you leave. So every time I'm up in the mountain, I'm thinking I should be doing this more. Every single time I'm just looking out. I feel complete peace, no distractions, and I just feel rooted and grounded to what seems natural to me. And so, natural and real. Yeah. You know, so I believe that that's a huge part why people do that. So death being something that we're all going to do, we're all going to go through. Clearly, that's something that we all understand. Like we all know that on some level or another. Yeah. Now, what I'm saying is that there are degrees of knowing something.
Degrees of understanding that.
That. So I think, clearly we've known what death is since we were children, right? To some degree. And then I believe through a lot of psychedelic usage, which I haven't in a while now, but over the years of psychedelic usage and research and reading and understanding and meditating and just getting into what the ego is, how it drives us, how it sort of skews the way that we look at things, the way we look at ourselves, the way we look at life.
Right.
And having the ego excused for periods long enough, like 10 hours a day on psilocybin or LSD or whatever, having the ego excused for that long, you just get a deeper relationship with what truly is outside of the way that you want things to be. Right? Or whatever it is you've pictured things to be, whatever narrative it is you've spun in your head for whatever the reasons may be. And so when that happens, you kind of get this feeling of like, I'm not afraid. Like, I'm not afraid. Like these things, that is nature. We come and we go and it's beautiful while we're here. And if you get a chance, if you get just a few glimpses of the fact that it's beautiful while we're here, that's a win. Yep. That's dope. So I've just been okay with that idea. So when this time came and my grandma passed and I got the call, I was like, okay, I'll be over there because I know I need to come support some people in this house.
Right.
Because I know that there's some people in this house that have not had the experiences.
With that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was my initial thoughts and feelings, like being presented with this information, being presented with the people in the house. Yeah. Cause I just immediately walked in the house and it was clearly not cool. Yeah. You know which is a funny way of saying it, but it was just clearly not. Yeah. Like people were clearly not, handling it the best of ways. So that's what that was about.
Yeah, man. Once again, my condolences to your family, bro. Like death is tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. So you're in here, you're looking fly, man. You know what I mean? You're looking real strong.
I try, bro.
You got the gold accents going on. You know what I mean? To just get the black skin popping just a little bit more. Hey. What are you doing to take care of yourself? Cause you really look like you look like you're taking care of your hands. Like you get manicures?
Fuck no.
Oh no? Oh shit.
I just cut my fingernails. You know what I'm saying? I came to see my lady. You can't be out here with fucked up fingernails and shit. You know what I'm saying? Gotta groom yourself. It's been a minute since she seen me. Yeah. So I had to get right. But as far as taking care of myself, man, I'm a gym rat. So, I mean, I work out at least a minimum of 5 days.
A minimum?
Yeah, minimum of 5 days. When it start getting hot outside, I might even do 7. You know what I'm saying? Just to stay trim. But, I'm really just getting back. I had the vid at the beginning of the month, man. Okay. Unfortunately, it took 2.5 years, but that shit got me.
Yeah.
I was down bad for the first couple of days, man. Lost like 5 pounds. I mean, still, even right now, my eating habits aren't like how they were before COVID. I can't eat as much.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, just working out.
What are you eating? Like usually?
So I mean, basic shit, bro. I go through phases where I'm pescatarian.
Okay.
So I mean, if you don't know what that means, it's just like you eat seafood as your main protein source, no meats. Even right now, I just do chicken and turkey.
Okay.
For the most part, I stopped eating pork and beef like years ago. Just for like
shout out the virgin vegan Ryan Richards.
Shout out Ryan Richards, man, for sure. He on this shit. But just as far as like the digestion things, fish just digest easier. it digests better than like beef and pork and shit. Yeah. So you feel lighter, bro. Like when I'm a pescatarian, I just notice that like I just feel lighter.
That's the same thing he said.
Yeah, you actually feel it. Like it might take a while, but like if you do it consistently and then you put meat back in your body, like since I started eating meat again, you know, I could feel the difference. So, but I was trying to put some weight on, man. I was feeling bony for a while, losing my strength in the gym. So, you know, like I said, man, I transition. I usually do meat from like September until like February. And then from February until the following year is when I get on my pescatarian shit. So
is that for trimming? Is that
for trimming. Yeah,
I got you. That's interesting.
Yeah, bro.
So you're just trying to put on weight. Like, what exactly is that for as far as like the winter time? Is that for warmth?
It's for a little bit of warmth, but when you gain size and then you cut back down, you look bigger because you put on that muscle mass. And when you trim it down, like your body looks a lot better. Right. So I just try to pack on as much as I can the right way. Yeah. During those winter months. So when I start cutting down, like the physique will be how it's supposed to be.
So I'm hearing you say that 7 days a week, you are different. You built differently.
Man, it's just like we just said, bro. It's mentally, it helps me out a lot, bro. Like, I feel like I'm a little kid sometimes because I have way too much fucking energy. Like, for real, bro. Like, my mind is always on the go. And then it's just like, I'll work out, you know what I'm saying? Come back, chill. And it's just like 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, what's next? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta get it in, bro. Right. You know, I'm blessed to feel that way because some people,
that's very true.
Yeah, some people don't have the energy to do these things. So like, for me to have extra energy, I just take it as it comes, bro.
Yeah, you're in 32. Yeah, so that's good that you on this track because I feel like it's just, I mean, I got friends. It's terrible to just be getting older and you haven't got these habits. Yeah. Right? Because then just the older you get, the more difficult it's going to be.
It's going to be, man. And then like, once again, I have a lot of people with like health issues in my family. Like my mom passed away because of health issues. My grandma had diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney failure, all that type of shit runs in my family. So I do what I can to prevent that. I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? I still smoke my little weed, smoke my little cigars here and there, but for the most part, I'm on my shit, man.
You're trying to stick around.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's the way to do it. So what are you doing in there? Cause I'm thinking 7 days out the week. I'm trying to figure out how you're sustaining, like making sure that it's not getting to diminishing returns. So you're clear.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just got to learn how to split up your muscle groups for the most part. So typically what I do is, I start my week off with legs, you know, as a man, let me give you a tip. As a man, do not skip your fucking legs. You don't want to be top heavy, bony ass legs. And this is a tip. If you having trouble, like, niggas with erectile dysfunction and shit like that, you exercise your legs, it gives you a natural testosterone boost. So your lady will thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Blood flow.
So that's that blood flow.
Yeah.
So that's the key right there. But I start the week off with legs.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Start the week off with legs. Then I might go to upper body exercise. The next day, might just do some cardio, take a rest day, and then I kind of like follow the same routine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then like, if I say I'm working out 7 days a week, I'm not going in there killing myself. You know, sometimes you do active recovery or active rest days. So you might just do some light cardio, sauna, you know, stretch, foam rolling, shit like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you do the stretching, the foam rolling.
For sure.
Perfect.
For sure. Yeah, man. That's another thing I heard you talking about. Niggas just want to go in the gym and get big. They don't want to do yoga. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to stretch. Like, nah, brother, you can't do that, man. You gotta, sustainability.
Exactly.
Sustainability.
Exactly. It's like, being strong is cool.
It's cool, yeah.
I'm certain there may be a time where you may need to pull yourself up for something or push something on for you or help somebody.
You need that flexibility too, brother.
But as time goes on and you 50, 60 years old, you don't really wish that you had been stretching all of this time.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. My God, yeah. So that's good. These are good tips. But blood flow for erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, bro. I had a dude when I was actually working at Retro. He told me that, you know, he was having a little issue with his lady. He went to a doctor and they told him to do that. Like they asked him, do you work out? He's like, yeah, I work out. Like, how do you work out? What do you work out? He's like, well, I do everything, but I mean, I don't do my legs. And then the doctor was like, that's it. Like, start doing your legs and come back to me in a couple of weeks and tell me how different you feel. Straight up, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. Yeah. That's a great tip on this podcast. Like, that is perfect.
Definitely.
All right. I'm glad to hear it. Now, you just got back to your lady and all of your loved ones.
Yeah.
So when we finally got to the point where we could have people on the podcast, you were gone.
I was gone, man. So I missed it.
So you've been gone. Tell me about you being gone. What exactly that was, why you had to be gone.
So, for those that don't know, I live in, Seattle, Washington. So it's a lot different than here, but I just needed to change, bro. I mean, none more, none less. I just needed to change, a mental refresh. By me doing music, I know Seattle is rich in music. Although it's more like alternative, like that's where like Nirvana, all that type of shit comes from. I just figured out that Jimi Hendrix is actually from Seattle. I had no idea about that, but you go out there, man.
He bounced around a lot.
Yeah, a lot. But he's deep rooted in Seattle. But as far as like the studios out there, studios everywhere. I sent you some music and you realize how different it sounds, how clean it is. So they take that shit a little more serious. But me, bro, like sometimes I work better in seclusion. It's just better for my mental. Like I said, I'm an introvert by nature anyway.
Right.
Although I love people, it's just those certain times where I would rather be by myself.
Have you tried doing it the other way and it was just like, like y'all niggas, I don't like people being around. Like,
yeah, I mean,
people are like critiquing as you're creating or like, what is it?
Nah, man. I always ask for critiques. That's one thing about me, man. Like you can't be too sensitive when it comes to creating the art because even though you may do it for you, you still need people to listen. Like that's how you get your fans. So in a sense, you kind of got to give the people what they want. But just do it your way. Make sure you're not quote unquote selling your soul or trying to sell out just to please everybody. But you got to bend a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as Seattle, man, it's beautiful out there. It's a very scenic place. By you liking nature, I think you would really like it. It's a lot of cool places to hike. Like where I am, I'm like right by the city. And then you could go like an hour away. You'll be in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I'm right by Portland.
Okay,
I'm like 3 hours away from Portland. Going the other direction, I'm like 3 hours away from Canada.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of shit that's around, man, that you could do. I haven't ventured out there yet, but if I wanted to, I could. Yeah.
We ventured out where specifically?
To like, Portland or Canada.
Oh, okay. Okay. You just stayed stuck. How long have you been out there now?
I left in April. So I've been out there for like 10 months.
Oh, okay. So
10 months.
Not too long. You mostly been recording, I guess.
I've been recording a lot.
So who's out there that you've been recording with?
So I met this one guy, shout out to, I'm drawing a blank right now. Shout out to Rob. That's the guy I've been working with out there. Crazy talented engineer dude. And it's just me looking on Google.
Right. Okay.
Me looking on Google, looking at the reviews, seeing who got the best quality.
Right.
And that's where I went, man. And we've been locked in since I got out there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How do you know when, so you've been working on a particular, you also threw out just some loosies.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you've been working on a particular project.
Man, I've just been recording.
Oh, you've just been recording. Just record.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just in that zone where I'm just trying to record as much as I can. I never really go into the recording process with like a plan. Like, yeah, I'm gonna create this type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? I just create.
Okay.
And whatever I feel like fits best, sounds good sonically together. That's typically how I put the projects together.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know when? Okay, so I was gonna ask you, how do you know when you're done? Because I'm certain, like, I clearly do something.
Me personally, here. when I get that bit of writer's block, like every time, bro, I record or I finish a project, I get writer's block. So it's like, okay, my mind is depleted. I need some time to refresh. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just chill, live life a little bit. I still may listen to like beats and things like that and take notes. But as far as like attempting to write, it's just like, nah. Yeah, nah.
And so what are you doing to refresh? I guess exercising.
Exercising, of course. Reading. Like I said, I'm trying to get into that more. Reading. Just listening to other music, trying to get some ideas. Cause I mean, I'm inspired by every artist. People ask me if I have a favorite artist. I do, but for the most part, I listen to almost everything except country.
I hear that from so many people.
Country is not it for me, bro.
That's a very specific person. Yeah, really.
It's not it. Even though, like,
you've tried, huh?
I've tried, man. I mean, people tell me all the time, like, it's similar to rap music, you know, because they have their own little lane and niche and lingo and the type of shit that they like to talk about. But yeah, I need something that's bass heavy, like some snares and shit in there, like nah. shout out Lil Nas X, man. Billy Ray Cyrus.
For sure. That's fucking hilarious. I listen to all sorts. I mean, I definitely like my hip hop.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing it heavy recently. I've been listening to a lot of J. Cole though. Yeah. Cause, you know, I like J. Cole.
The GOAT, man. One of the GOATs.
Yeah, for sure. Kendrick is cool, clearly.
One of the GOATs.
Song that was, I feel like really looked over on that To Pimp a Butterfly album. I think it was You Ain't Gotta Lie. Everybody go back and listen to You Ain't Gotta Lie. Hilarious song. It's great. It's wild the way he did it. But if you know what he's talking about, if you know these people that have just come around you and your friends and just been that person and just try to lie and get over and just be cool.
Try to fit in.
Be whoever it is they think it is you want them to be, which is everything that you don't want them to be. You gotta listen. You gotta go back and listen to that song.
Yes, sir.
You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga.
Yep.
You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. Oh my God. You ain't gotta try so hard.
Nah, not at all, man. Be yourself. That's the key I want everybody to know, man. Be yourself, bro. It's no one but you in this world. So just be that person.
Well, what's funny is, so on the last episode, I think, or maybe one before, we were talking about what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to get ladies, when you're a young man, you have older people saying, you just need to be yourself. You need to be confident. Like, don't worry about all this other stuff. And you're like, yo, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
And what does being yourself mean? And then I just recently had a conversation with someone that said that they were speaking to someone that is courting them, or they're going through something weird, if you want to call it a courtship. And the person was saying, hey, listen, I want to let you know that I haven't been quite being myself. So this person that you thought you were being around, that's not really me. And I want you to know that. And this person was like, oh, it's okay. Like, who is the real you? Blah, blah, blah. So now they're in this phase of she's going to try to figure out who the real him is. We'll see how it goes. I told her to fill me in on everything.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
So, I mean, did she notice like any weird signs or what? Or he just came to a point where he just like, I'm tired of being a fucking phony. Like, I need to show you who the fuck I really am. Like this nigga that you're getting is,
I think he noticed that she liked him a lot.
Yeah.
And I guess there is, you know, a human in him that said, hey, I see that you like me a lot. I should let you know that you like this persona that I've been putting on for the past few times we've been hanging out. That's not the real me. And so I don't even know if she feels comfortable enough going to him and asking who the real person is. But she asked me, what does that mean exactly? Like, when you asking someone who is the real you, what is a real answer to that?
Yeah.
And I was telling her, if you ask most people, I believe you're going to get a long laundry list of just characteristics, circumstantial characteristics. oh, I'm funny sometimes and I'm kind of open-minded, but sometimes I like to just be by myself and, you know, I like popcorn at the movies and, you know, like you're just going to get a bunch of stuff that they're just going to list about themselves or things that they've done. But is that a question to who is the realest version of yourself? Like, what does that mean?
That's tough.
It can be a very tough question if you've never taken time to think about it, really. So what I told her was that I believe it comes down to intentions because you're constantly changing in small ways, right? Yeah. So I don't think that going through that laundry list is really all that helpful. Yeah. I think a question that people should ask themselves, and I told her she should probably ask him, is what are your intentions through day-to-day circumstantial conversation with people, with interactions with people? Because if you find yourself with the answers to be as truthful as possible, right? As far as I'm concerned, there's this thing called truth that we have a very hard time tapping into a lot of the time because of ego and shame and guilt. And these are the type of things that take us away from seeing the truth clearly. So there's a truth that would be the case whether human beings existed or not. Right. Like just a natural truth. The way that things are, it is what it is type of thing. Yeah. Then over top of that, we have our moral codes as human beings. And then we say, well, if you slap him, that's wrong. You can say that that's a wrong thing to do. Amongst humans, we understand what that means. Right. In just nature, when a lion goes and kills a lion or a gazelle, that just is. They gotta do it. They gotta do it. That's what it was. That's just natural code. Eat. Self-sustain, right? And they're not crying about it later on. Yeah. It's just what it is. So you would say that our moral codes maybe is what differs us from being just primal animals. Listen, this is all philosophy. Yeah, so who knows moral philosophy? But I said, in any given moment, if I'm having a conversation or an interaction with someone, there's a truth in between us. We have our own version of some semblance of that truth. And through conversation, or at least the type that excites me the most, is us having the best intentions of both helping each other as conversational partners get closer and closer and closer and closer, as close as we possibly can, right, to that truth in the center. Right. So that is my constant intent. I have no other intentions when interacting with people. There's nothing else I really care to do. Right. Right. So you never have to worry about some ulterior motive or anything. That is my intention every single time. So in that sense, you're getting the truest form of me. Right. Because it's not about there is no ego. There is no long laundry list of who I am. It's just about what my intention is in that moment. Right. Which is using this vessel to get closer to the truth with your vessel. Right. Like that's it. So in that sense, that's how I can answer the question. I was like, you should ask him the question. See what he comes up with. If those people were not his genuine people, his genuine person, right, that he was interacting with you with, then I would love to know who that is, if he can articulate it, if he knows what it is, and ask him what are his intentions with people. Why did he feel as though he needed to be another person? Way. So it's just some stuff to think about. Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at it as like, if you're comfortable with like embracing your flaws, like that's a big thing, and just naturally being genuine. Like I feel like people know when they're being fake, and being genuine is something that you could just feel. You said like within yourself, or or when other people are looking at you. When other people are looking at you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like you can kind of say. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think that we also have a certain, again, this level of understanding, or the degrees of knowing something. So I think that growing up around certain people or having to look out and watch out for certain things, you look at people a little differently, and you try to see what their intentions are. This is another thing when you, going back to psychedelic drugs, you tap into that. You just, be looking at people and you can just see what they're about. You can see the mask fade away, and you're like, oh, that's who you are. Yeah. And so, I think people just have just different eyesight.
Definitely.
And so some people they're just walking around in a fog and they don't know what's what, and they're looking at someone. And I mean, we know this. Two people could be looking at someone and someone thinks that this person is the real deal. Yeah. Like they are it, whatever it is. And then the next person looking at them like, this nigga's phony. What are you talking about?
That's a real nigga.
Yeah.
That nigga real as shit. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And you looking like, what are you talking about? Like this is, what? What are you talking, like this person is clearly, you've seen people try to, puff up their chest and peacock and, exude as much confidence as possible. And to some people, they fool them. Mm-hmm. And to other people, you have different eyesight and you're looking at them like, this person is clearly the most insecure in the room.
Man, I could tell you that from experience. Like, the time where I was the most depressed, I feel like I was the most boisterous. Like, being on Snapchat, you know what I'm saying? It's doing extra shit, bro. Yeah. Like, then I look back on that shit now, like, nigga, you was a Bama. Like, why the fuck was you even doing shit like that? And that, once again, that comes with knowing who you really are, man. Like, you know when you're doing too much. Like, and I just, at that point, like I said, I was just doing way too much, bro. Way too much.
What was the post like? What was you doing?
Man, bro. Just being a typical gym nigga, like always flexing in the mirror with my shirt off and shit like that. This lame shit. Now I see shit like that and it's cringeworthy, bro. I be like, damn.
Yeah.
I remember how I felt when I used to do shit like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I've gotten to a point where I'm being a lot less negatively judgmental in a sense where I know that who I am and where I am and the way that I see things are whatever they are in this moment. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's quite an amazing view. Yeah. It's quite picturesque from back here. I also know that I haven't always been in this position.
Right.
So because of that, it doesn't make the difference between what I see and how I move and the way that I see other people move any less jarring or wild of an idea. It doesn't diminish that idea, but it does diminish me in the desire to condemn other people for the way that they do things. It does diminish that because I can understand. So what I say is that I have found myself with a distance from a lot of people, but not with a disconnect.
Right.
There's a connection still between us, and I understand why people do the things they do, but there's just a distance between the way that I do things and the way that other people do. So this gym thing that you're talking about, I was just talking to a friend about women wearing a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
And, we may not be the niggas to be talking about this because we're two niggas talking about this, but we're going to do it anyway.
We don't wear makeup.
Yeah.
We don't. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So my friend, who is a woman, by the way, was saying that she can easily tell when it's a woman wearing makeup that would never, ever even dream of leaving the house without a full face of makeup on because they are not comfortable showing their real face to the world, which would clearly mean that there's some deeper insecurities that lie beneath that. And then we're also having the conversation of, but can we also give credence to women that want to put on a full face, but don't have to?
Yeah.
And like
perspective.
Yeah. Like there just being a difference between those things. So I want to say that maybe maybe you could post pictures with your shirt off, flexing, but it doesn't come from a deep place of hurt or just like wanting to fill a void or, you know what I mean, grab attention. There could be something motivational about it.
Man, I wanted attention. I'm just
no. I know you.
I'm gonna be 100% honest, bro. I was trying to get somebody to slide in my DM. Like, damn, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being 100% honest, bro. And it's a lot of people that won't tell you that, but I will.
But it's the worst when it works, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then you get into this. Oh well, fuck. Like, all right, well, I did it for this reason, which aren't the best reasons.
Yeah.
But it's working. So when you start being rewarded for your bad decisions
start
or
turning it up
for
a little bit more
for your worst intentions. Yeah, exactly. So then you turn it up. Now you lost in the wind, being this, like you said, this Bama on whatever stories, Snap stories, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough. That's rough, man. Listen, I give it to people, man. I just feel for people trying to figure out who they are, man, and how you gonna navigate this world.
It's a journey, bro.
It's a fucking journey.
It's a journey.
It's a fucking journey. You talked about you being inspired by everything.
Yeah.
Aside from country.
Yeah. Except country.
Except for country.
Yeah.
We got to talk about these influences.
Oh, man.
Dr. Seuss.
Legend.
And Bow Wow.
Fucking legend.
All right. Which one you want to do first?
Man, we could, I mean.
Dr. Seuss probably came before.
That's what I was about to say.
Right,
we could start with Dr. Seuss. The one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Like, we green eggs and ham. The Grinch. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Must I go on? Like, man, Dr. Seuss is a legend. I feel like, especially as a little kid, like that's, what inspired me to want to put words together. Like, just the whole rhyming pattern. I thought that shit was so cool as a little kid. The cat in the hat and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, all right, this is cool.
Shit, these are bars.
Yeah, you went from like your mom reading you little bedtime stories and shit like that to like shit that like rhymes. So it's like, okay, like this is interesting, and it always sparked my interest, man. And then like, as I got into music, like I started putting those connections together. Like, okay, so I like this because it's pretty much what I was just reading. Like, it's a very similar to patterns. Like they rhyme, like it's a rhythm to it. So it's like, okay, like maybe I feel like I could do this.
Right.
So like, then as a little kid, man, I just started trying to write down shit that rhyme. Like it was a point where I just wanted to learn as many like rhyming words as I could, like as a little kid, bro. And it's just been stuck with me.
And when you started going through composition class and stuff like that, and we had to start writing like sonnets and limericks and things like that, did you like, was that interesting to you to try to find rhyming patterns?
Very.
Okay.
Very, bro. Very, very interesting. English, like shit like that was probably what I looked forward to in school.
Yeah, that
like
was me
I was
too.
Trash at math.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? History was boring because it's bullshit. And then straight up. And then, you know, English is what I felt the most comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because it's just writing how you feel, understanding how people feel, different ways that you can write, articulate, and express yourself. So that's something that like I was really intrigued by.
How'd you feel about science?
Science was cool, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
it was all right, bro. I look back at school, man. The only thing I really enjoyed was English, being at lunch with my friends, and PE.
And girls. Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. That sounds about right. There's just something wrong with that, man. Like it's just, you gotta find a way to get into, jeez. Were you a bad kid? Like,
nah, my mom ain't play that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? My mom from DC, the old school DC, bro. Like, she did not play with me.
Yeah,
she did not play with me. I used to love going to school, bro. I think, I moved from Woodbridge in 7th grade. And then 8th grade, I went to Mets. That 8th grade year, I had perfect attendance. And then freshman year, I never even skipped a day of school in high school.
Yeah.
Never skipped.
Yeah.
People think like, what? You never? Nah, nigga, I used to like going to school.
Yeah.
And then when senior year came, you know, like my classes were short. So, I mean, I would come in late on certain days and leave early certain days. So I had no reason to skip.
Yeah. Mom's from DC. Yeah, shout out, quick diversion. Shout out to Keon. He was not,
man.
He wasn't able to make it. You know, he's up there in the DC, Maryland area somewhere. At his job, he got called in, had to go do some stuff, man. Listen,
grown man business.
Shout out to being a boss, you know, and just having to pick up the reins and do what has to be done at a moment's notice. Now he's over there dealing with some of these people. I don't know if you've heard enough of his stories about his job, bro.
Yeah.
He be going through it, man.
Yeah.
He'll just call me out the blue and just be like, "You ready for another one?"
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah.
What's going on today, brother?
I live for these stories.
Yep.
He just be having stories of people just pulling up. Just he's walking around a facility, just like looking at stuff, and there's just like a dude in the corner taking a shit somewhere. He's just like, "Yo, like,
what the fuck?
What are you doing here?"
So he works at I heard he say he's a leasing agent.
Well, yeah, forget about, because he was just throwing people off the scent. He works at a storage space facility.
Got it.
Yeah, he has let it been known since that, but he works at a storage space facility. And so, yeah, you just get all sorts of people. You know, storage space facilities are as interesting to me as, I mean,
some people live in those. Yeah, some people actually use those as a place to live.
Now, he did not think about this so much. And for some reason, I told him that when people tell me about a job they have, I immediately think of the hardships that they have to go through with that job. Mm-hmm. And so when he told me that this was his newest job, I was like, and this was before winter hit.
And he's in Maryland too? Yeah. What part of Maryland?
Actually, I don't know if this is located in Maryland. This place is located in DC. Oh. And I don't quite know exactly where in DC.
Yeah.
But he's going through everything that you think he's going through. Yeah. All of that. Yeah. It's some of it is just hilarious. Some of it's very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a spectrum, but so that's what he's doing now. So he had to take off so he could go handle more of that. He don't have women coming in there screaming at him, threatening him, talking about they gonna come whoop his ass if he don't give them a discount on a unit. He don't have a woman call up there just like, oh, so you must be new, nigga. Like, you must be new. But that's okay. You're gonna find out who I am soon enough.
Damn.
And he's just like, okay, ma'am, I'll see you soon. Yeah. At some point you just get callous too. Yeah.
You gotta keep it cool, man.
So that's what he's doing. All right. So Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Let's get back to Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Isn't interesting. Did you have AR reading back in? It was like, I think it was called AR, like accelerated reading. I think it was called.
Okay.
I did, yeah. Okay. So it was like, you had all the books and there were stickers on them and they were color coded, like happy face stickers. And it went from like yellow to purple or something like that. And that was like the difficulty.
Remember that. Yep. So I remember when I was like in second grade, I was reading and understanding on a 5th grade level.
Right. See, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I remember something of the same, like being able to understand more than I should have been, but choosing not to.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't going towards the harder books that were like 8 points, 16 points.
Right.
I was like, well, I've always just been trying to figure out in school, how can I do the least?
Get by and get by.
Do you do the least and get by? So I would just read a shit ton of one level, like 1 point books.
Mm-hmm.
So I got onto a book series called, you may remember, may not, Cam Jansen. This was a young girl that had a photographic memory, and she would I think she's like solved mysteries, like solve little cases and stuff like that.
I can't say that I do.
But it's interesting that you bring up Dr. Seuss being this thing for you, and just Montessori schools in general. From what I understand is you put a kid in a Montessori school, they sort of try to figure out what the kid has an aptitude for. Right. And pushing them towards
that direction.
Exactly. And letting their natural talents be honed through skills. And I think that that's amazing. And you know what I mean? To have you maybe your child do that for a few years, understand them a bit more. Then they can go on and do other stuff. My little sister did homeschooling, private schooling, and public schooling.
Damn.
Yeah, she went through all three.
Well-rounded.
Started with private school, then she did homeschool, and then went to and then in her late middle school and then high school did like public school. So.
What was the reason for the switches?
I think that they just wanted to. I mean, yeah, they gave her all sorts of stuff that we didn't get a chance to do. Yeah. But I think that they were just trying to figure this little person out and try to put them in as many places as possible for opportunity to see what benefits could be reaped everywhere. And I mean, it clearly works. She's in Northeastern right now doing well in Boston at a computer science program.
Shout out to Sis, man.
Yeah. She's doing well. Shout out to Lex.
Shout out to Sis.
Let me grab another one of those if you don't mind. These Welch's, baby. Welch's. What did you call them? The Berry Blast?
Yeah. Berry Blast.
Berry Blast.
Fruit Burst. Whatever you want to call it.
But these Cam Jansen books, I realized upon thinking about, I just realized this when thinking about your Dr. Seuss thing.
Okay.
Is that I've loved mystery and loved trying to figure something out in what is decoded in front of us.
Right.
Since I was a kid and had no idea. we didn't have teachers clearly that were thinking about the individual students and trying to figure out what aptitude they had and trying to push them or lead them closer to those things. And it just,
it's rare.
Yeah, the system just isn't even really built for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, that's why I said Montessori schools that's the focus.
Right.
As far as I understand. So realizing that when you were talking about Dr. Seuss, I was like, damn, I've been trying to figure shit out since I was
my whole damn life.
A little fucking boy. Interesting. And then Bow Wow.
Bow Wow.
So
Man.
this came on a little bit later. When was Bow Wow popping?
Bow Wow was popping when we were in 5th grade.
Okay.
4th or 5th grade.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that was like what, 98, 99? Like right before the 2000s is when he really like got big and took off.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like 98, 99.
Okay. He's walking around. He's light-skinned, green eyes.
Man, put it like this, bro. Cornrows. I was about to say that if you were a black kid that grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, you wanted braids, you wanted the Air Force Ones, you wanted the throwback jerseys.
Definitely the jerseys.
You know what I'm saying? Like he revolutionized that shit for Black America. And I try to tell that to one of my good friends, Smith, who's white. Like, I'm like, Bow Wow's a legend. He looking at me like, Bow Wow. Like, how is he a legend? I'm just like, I mean, for Black America, bro, like the young black kids in America, like he was everything. You know what I'm saying? To us as a little kid. Like
he was the biggest.
We thought that nigga was the coolest person ever. The coolest person ever. And I stamped that. You can't, bro. I'm telling you, if you do a poll from the kids that grew up in the late 90s, bro, I'll tell you that Bow Wow was that guy.
Yeah, I mean, there was no one. I mean, you can't even. First of all, the list is very short. If you're talking about younger kids, like Lil Zane, which no one even remembers, right? Like
Lil Romeo.
Lil Romeo. He was
he was popping a little bit, but that was because his pops for real. Like, your dad is Masterpiece, so nigga, you gonna have some type of, you know.
Well, Bow Wow. He didn't really have like family, but Snoop clearly adopted him. Yeah, Jermaine Dupri. Yeah, so he was coming up underneath some people. But
definitely.
Huge. Okay.
But even now, bro, like you look at like his business acumen, all the movies that he's been into, him being like the director behind the scenes at BET. He got these little shows and shit. Like he's doing it, bro.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's like our age. Like it's crazy to think about that, but we're all around the same age.
That longevity is kind of crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because people take that for granted.
Crazy.
Longevity. Man. In the music sphere, in media, in entertainment. Yeah. People take that for granted.
Like he might not be popping on the rapping skill. Like
he's not Drake.
As he is not, but like on the other shit, he got it. And then even with verses, the joint with him and Soulja, did you peep that?
No, I didn't. I haven't watched any of the verses.
And he's still a hell of a performer.
Oh yeah,
a hell of a performer, bro. Gotta give it to him. Gotta give it to that man.
That is very, very interesting. Bow Wow. What's his name? Chad?
Shad Moss.
Shad. I don't know
Shad
where
Moss,
Chad.
Man. It's Chad. Because he spelled it S-H-A-D.
Shad.
Yeah, Shad Moss.
Shad Moss. Yeah, another one is like Nick Cannon. Like he's the type where nobody really respects him for rapping.
They think he's corny.
Right.
They think he's a corny, but that man got that bag. He got that bag. And he got the baddies too, low key. Like, you be sleeping.
What's funny is it low key at this point?
Yeah,
I think it was.
That nigga got like 7, 8 kids, so like, he knocking them down.
That's
for
crazy.
Sure.
That's crazy. We've talked about that on here, like being like a Chad Ochocinco or a Nick Cannon or a Future,
man,
or any of the. I think NBA YoungBoy is another one of them. He's young.
Yeah, he's a young,
but he's got a lot. Yeah. Yo, I just can't even.
I don't have any. And I don't know if I want any, you know? I don't know.
Has that been like an honest conversation?
It's been an honest conversation with me and my lady, for sure. And she's on board with it. She's like, if it happens, it happens, but I'm not stressing it.
Right, okay.
I want to live a little bit.
Okay,
I want to live a little bit. It's still a lot of things that I haven't done. So,
for sure.
I think my cutoff point is like 35.
Right, so if like it don't happen by then, it's like we done.
Probably we good. Like, unless she really, really wants one. But yeah, other than that, bro.
Yeah. And it'll be good since you're taking care of yourself. You'll still be able to move around and active. Run if they want to play some sports, whatever it is.
Yeah, she's active as well, so that won't be a problem at all.
Oh yeah, I feel like that kind of has to. There's certain things, certain shared interests that can that are nice to have, but I feel like when it comes to health and wellness, the reason why I stress this is because, and the fact that it should be let me slow my ass down, because I feel
take a breather. Yes,
let me take a sip.
Go ahead. Stay hydrated, man. That's another key.
Pomegranate juice and water. That's
yes,
all.
sir.
That's pomegranate juice, water, some lemon and lime in there.
Okay.
So this ought to be a conversation that can be had, and I know that people don't know how to articulate things and take people's feelings into consideration, so it can very easily be something that can come off as demeaning and condescending. But wellness and health as a unit, right? If you're talking about being a unit for the long haul,
right,
that's a conversation that has to happen.
Yeah. But let me say something before you get into this.
Do it.
But you have to, the thing is, when you get in a relationship, you have to know that person's interest from the jump. Like me personally, if a female that, I was interested in didn't exercise, that's a done deal already. Because for one, I'm exercising. So if you're not doing it, I feel like you're not going to understand why I do it. And then just to be for real, the physical aspect, I'm in the gym working my ass off, keeping myself up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow you to sit there and get lazy and fat. Fuck no. Like it's not going down like that. It's not going down like that. And once again, that's an honest answer.
Yes,
bro.
it is.
Like
I love the honesty.
It's not going down like that, bro. We gonna be on this meal prep together, like, you know what I'm saying? Right. I cook salmon for you. You know what I'm saying? I got my piece. We got our vegetables ready, fruits, you know what I'm saying? Nuts, we good. Like, you don't have, I prep all the food for you. Just eat it. Keep yourself on the right track, and I got you. You know what I'm saying?
That's, I just love the directivity of that. Yeah. I love it.
But not to cut you off, but go ahead.
But it is a conversation that you need to have. And I mean, to be honest, you're right. That was a very honest, direct way that you decided to probably have that conversation. Facts. Do you feel as though, because I have had this conversation with people that say, I just can't even, like, from the jump. Actually, you'll see it on dating sites. Some people will say, like, I work out. I'm looking for someone that needs to be able to work out. Then you have other people that's like, yo, listen, I don't work out and I don't give a fuck about none of y'all that do work out. Don't hit me up trying to do this or that. So we have these two extremes where don't nobody want to talk to the other person, and that's fine because everybody has their preferences and you are allowed that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you could? Well, I mean, now you're in a relationship, but that it's possible for one person that does exercise and is extremely serious about their health, talk to someone that does it and say, well, hey, listen, we seem to have clicked on these other levels.
Yeah.
Have you thought about this thing before and how you interact with it or how you don't interact with it?
Right.
And would this be something you could see yourself stepping into?
Yeah.
Right. So is that something that you feel like you could have done, or you just like, nah, just off the rip? Like, I need you to already be.
I don't think so, bro. Me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, me personally.
I understand that because I've also spoken with women where they're like, I don't want to have to teach a man emotional intelligence. Like, I would much rather you just kind of be there and then we can keep the ball rolling together.
Sure.
But I don't want to come over here and then have to get you on the page. So that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with all that. Everybody get out there and have some conversations with your significant other. And
be honest, man. Communication is key. I'm in a long distance relationship and the communication is definitely was keeping us solid. So definitely have those conversations.
Extremely important.
Very.
Extremely important. Yeah. Like how do you do it?
Man.
Exactly.
Just like I said, bro, just communication. We're like 3 hours apart. So, on my breaks or her breaks, we make time for each other. But like every time when I get off of work, like I make sure I call her on my ride home. You know what I'm saying? She's the first person I probably talk to in the morning when I get up. So just keeping all lines of communication open, bro.
And so when you say communication, you clearly mean the frequency, like in which
you're interacting, talking,
how long, and then also probably
times.
What you're talking about matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. you have a balance of just like kicking it and talking about random shit, and then also what's important here. Like, what do we need?
What are we doing? Like, like talking about the future. Like, how long you plan on being out there? Does she plan on coming out there with me? So, like, all those conversations.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, that's solid. Now, since you said that you're interested in this, what are you currently reading?
So right now I'm not currently reading anything, to be honest, but the last book I read was, Outwitting the Devil, by Napoleon Hill. Which is a great book that I recommend everybody to read. Outwitting the Devil.
Oh, Outwitting the Devil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, by Napoleon
So basically,
Hill.
I mean, just to give a quick rundown, it's pretty much about like your subconscious and your subconscious being the devil. And it's stopping you from doing a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But it goes into various stories along the way. It's not a religious book by any means. So I don't want people to think that if they're kind of like, oh no, it's not. But definitely a good book to read that kind of sparks something in your mind.
Okay.
For sure.
And so they're mostly just trying to get the point across through stories. Stories told. You know, these like
it's pretty much like a gentleman creating a conversation with the devil and him going back and forth asking him questions, but the whole point is they both have to be honest during the conversation. So yeah, it's a good book, man.
Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that one up.
That'll be a book that I feel like you would really enjoy.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back on the pod and talk about it too. Is it a long read? What do we
Nah, it's not too bad.
Okay,
it's not too bad.
I was recently having a conversation with a friend that, so they're in the informational books, right? Psychology, sociology, self-help, all that sort of stuff, which I'm into as well. And every once in a while I'll read like 3 or 4 of those, and then I'll get into like a really long novel. And we're talking about how we extract information from things, and there being a hierarchy in everything that you possibly can do. And when it comes to books, a lot of the times people that read highly informational books look down upon people that read stories. They're like, what are you, a fucking child? Like, what are you reading? Right. You reading a story for? Are you reading Dr. Seuss too? Right? So I find that interesting. And to me, it's, well, you're interacting with it incorrectly, or at least in a space where you can't extract anything. You're simply looking at a story, and that story to you in no way, shape, form, fashion maps onto your life.
Right.
Or the life of human beings. It's like, so that's the way that you're interacting with it, as though it's a story and only a story within a book or within a film, right? Which is interesting to me, because when I'm watching a film,
I was just about to say that. What's the difference between watching like a sci-fi film or reading a novel? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like for me, I mean, you could take Star Wars, since you brought that up. Anybody that, now I did not go through the series and see all that. Yeah. But for people that truly love Star Wars, and I've come across a few of them, they will tell you exactly how it maps onto real life. Yeah. All the parallels between the things that we've been going through in the course of human history. Right? So it just has a ever flowing sort of perennial coexistence with what's going on in our life. Right, as human beings in the human race. And if you can look at film like that, you can look at books like that, you can just look at stories like that, you can look at stories that people hand down from generation to generation within certain cultures, certain indigenous cultures and things like that. That's why they do it. Fables, folklore, exactly. Like, they have very deep morals inside them, and the best way to get that into people's beings, and again, not just understood on an abstract level, to bear it in the people, is through storytelling. It's just a good way of getting information through. So I always found it interesting that people have a hard time reading novels and extracting gems like gold out of novels. So I'm glad that this book that you're talking about does it through a story.
Definitely.
because I think it's a bunch of really cool information that if it was just written out on a psychological level, like in a psychology book, some people would look at it and be like, oh, that's really interesting information. And then they'd close the book and go on about their day. But if you read it in a story, you get to see someone that maybe behaves as you do on some level or another. And then you can think, oh, wait, like I did that thing.
Yep.
I said that thing. I know someone that has done or said these things. Like, okay, there's a connection here. I'm seeing myself within the story.
Yeah,
exactly.
Story, yep.
And then it's embedded in you in a like intrinsic way. So I'm going to get that book.
Yeah.
Outwitting the Devil.
And I'll text it to you just in case you forget. Make sure you tap in.
Definitely do that.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it from?
So pretty much with my job, we were in this like what we call leadership and training program. So we read all kinds of books. They kind of prepare you for leadership or anything that would affect you in a positive way as far as like your thinking. More so like on self-help, motivational type purposes. Yeah.
And so what are you looking, are you looking to read more of that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if you have any suggestions, let me know.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely, I know that I have that book either in my car, the How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan. I think that'd be an interesting book for you to read. And I'll see if I have like one other in here. Yeah. Interesting. When it comes to one of the books I'm thinking of right now, which I spoke about on here a lot, is The Art of Public Speaking by a guy named Dale Carnegie.
Yeah.
And one of the things
he mentions Daniel Carnegie in
does he?
Outwitting the Devil book.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So pretty much like he's like interviewing successful people in the world, like the most successful people in the world, like Henry Ford, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, I gotta read this.
Yeah, it's a dope book, bro.
Now I'm super interested.
It's a dope book, bro.
I'm super fucking interested in this. What do you think you're looking for in like these books?
Me
like,
personally?
Yeah.
Just anything I could take from it as far as like
what is
oh, this is my phone, bro. Yeah, my bad.
I was like, what is going on?
What certain people might do or feel like they need to do to be successful and how you get there. So it's kind of like looking at what somebody would have as their personal roadmap to success and see if it's aligning with what I'm doing in order for me to get to success or what I feel like is the ultimate success.
Do you have some favorite successful people?
Nah, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not necessarily.
What do you think is important to have? Like, as you're building your own roadmap, like your own blueprint, what do you feel like is most important to have?
Man, to have people in your corner that understand your vision. Just more so for moral support rather than anything. Because I mean, there's so many people doing a lot of things. Like, you're not going to get everybody to be in your corner, and a lot of people are not even going to understand why you do certain shit. Like, when I left, people were like, why the fuck are you going to Seattle for? Like, what's out there for you? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't really tell that many people. Like, I told my girl like 2 days before I left. 2 days before I left, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I was on the fence about it. Like, I probably contemplated for like a week and a half. Like, damn, am I really going to do this? Like, I'm making decent money here. I just moved into my own spot. Like, I got 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying? My girl is right next door to me. So it's like everything was good on this end, but it's just like me taking that leap of faith. Like, if I got a chance to go to a different part of the world, you know what I'm saying? Me and my girl will still be good. My family will understand, but just me getting that experience, because a lot of people don't get an experience to travel somewhere different. I mean, not even, or even live in another state. Like, it's a lot of people that have probably been in Manassas their whole lives.
Yeah.
Haven't went anywhere, bro.
That's fact.
Yeah. So I just wanted just a different experience, bro. Like, if I ever come back, I come back. I won't regret it. Like, I learned a lot about myself, especially since I'm out there by myself. Yeah, I don't really have any friends out there. I don't really, communicate that much with the people I work with. Like, I try to keep that type of shit separate. Like, your work relationships.
Okay.
And then your outside personal life.
Okay. You don't want to blur the lines.
Nah, I don't need people all in my business, man.
Okay.
Yeah, keep them at a distance.
Yeah, as an introvert to just get up and move somewhere else, that is an interesting thing, right? Yeah,
very.
Yes, because so you're spending a lot of time by yourself.
Yep.
And you're totally cool with that.
Cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking cool with it, bro. I'm cool.
What have you found about Seattleites? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Seattleites? That makes sense.
Where I'm at, it's not a lot of niggas. It's not a lot of black people at all, man. So,
how you faring out there with that?
It's cool. Like, I work with this one dude, and he's a brother as well. So, like, they get me and him confused all the time, and it's because we're the only black guys there. And they try to say that it's, oh, you guys have the same glasses. Like, I had a full blown fade, and he had like a shortcut. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People would still get us confused. I cut my hair now. He has the fade. People still getting us confused. So it's like, I don't wear my glasses on purpose sometimes because I want to see. Straight up, bro.
You in there fucking
I don't wear my glasses because I want to see if people will still get me and the other dude confused. And they do. So it's because we're niggas. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've talked, like, people will have full-blown conversations with me, bro.
No.
Yeah, it's that bad. It's that bad. And I'll pull down my mask real quick and they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought you were such and such. Like, I'm not that guy. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, that lets you know how it is in the Seattle area where I am. Now, if you go further south, to like the Rainier Beach area, that's where like, Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson, where they're from. So like, it's a lot of black people out there on that side.
Okay.
But where I am, it's not a lot of black people.
So you feel like, do you feel like you're missing like some?
Yeah, like, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like people don't really relate to me culturally out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, even though, you know, around here is very diverse.
Extremely.
Like, yeah. So, but it's just more white people than anything out there. So it's a little different.
Damn.
A little different. Yeah.
I mean, I used to go, well, not like religiously speaking and also figuratively speaking, but I used to go to this church of my friends simply, and this was just a couple of years ago. I went there to see what was going on, to see how they were practicing the faith there in
White people's church.
It was. This was in like One Loudon. This was in like One Loudon area. Well, One Loudon's actually like a promenade. So I should just say, say it's the Loudon area. Yeah. But it was like this huge, it was like a mega church.
Oh,
it was one of those.
Them Joel Osteen type jumps.
Now I wasn't going to the big Sunday service, so I never got to see the whole like rock concert go on. Yeah. But I was just going to like a little, it was like a young adults, you know, thing on like Wednesday nights or something like that. So I would pop up there just to see how they were interacting with stuff and what was going on. And I was going with my man who's Congolese. Okay. And we would go in there. Now they clearly have gotten to know him. He's been going there for a couple of years, so they know who he is.
They're like, who's this other black dude in here that is, you know?
And I think from time to time there's been like a black guy that go there, like step in there, like every few months a black guy might show up. So I I remember going in there just like, you're back. Like, hey, how you been?
You're like,
I'm like, I don't know you. What is going on? It's just like, we haven't seen you since the such and such. You know what I mean? Where you been? Why haven't you come back? And I'm like, and it's so bad because I gotta tell them, because I didn't pull the Shiffy. I didn't let them know. You know what I mean? I let them know. I didn't act like I should have though. I should have acted like I was this dude and just seen how far I could have played into it. That would have been fun, but I didn't. So I was just like, yo, I'm sorry. My name is Earl. I'm not who you think I am. Yeah. And having to see the look on their face of just complete and utter embarrassment because
priceless.
because it's clear that this has been committed because I am black. And it's on their face. They know it. Yeah. I know it. We both know that the other person knows it. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm not that guy. And they're just like, oh, you're sure? You're sure you haven't been? I'm 100% sure I haven't. I've never met you before.
Wow.
All right. Well, we hope to see you the next time. You know, you just turn into something else and just leave. But yeah. That's a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. But you're doing your best that you can out there as an introverted person that likes his own space.
For sure.
You're doing your own thing.
For sure.
Have you ran into any other artists?
Yes. So I actually ran into another dude who actually worked, two that worked at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them directed me to a video guy. So he was real cool about that.
Okay.
And then the other one is coincidentally that he has the same engineer as I do. So that's about it. I mean, we talked about maybe possibly linking up and doing something, but like they're really strict out there with the COVID shit too.
Yeah.
So I lay low, bro. I lay low.
Has there ever been a time this could be extremely incriminating?
Nah.
Has there ever been a time where someone has wanted to collaborate with you and you decided you would take the plunge and do it, and whatever it is you received, you were kind of like, man, I really fucking wish I had not reached out to this person or I did not accept this person's work?
Nah, I can't. I can honestly say I haven't done that.
Okay,
bro.
that's good. That's good to hear.
I mean, I pretty much work with anybody.
Okay.
For the most part, as long as they're serious. Like if you just a guy that just wants to do this shit for a hobby, you know what I'm saying, get a little bit of clout on the gram and shit like that, like nah, we can't work. But if you serious about it, if I see you putting in time and investing in yourself, then we could collab. Like I tell people all the time, like one thing that my good friend told me to do is he's like, if you do this shit, you gotta look at it like a business, and you really gotta do it like you're already an artist. Like invest in quality videos, invest in studio time. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of niggas on like IG and shit, and they make music. They'll put up a video. The video will look shitty, but they'll be flashing all this money in the video or driving in these nice ass cars. I'm like, so the money you paid to rent that vehicle, and the cash that you're flashing in the video could have been used to have better recorded music and a better quality video. So like, what the fuck are you doing?
Keon was just telling me about a guy that came up and he was complaining that he had gotten some shoes stolen from a unit or something like that. And he was like, yo, y'all got to find these motherfuckers. But at the same time said, and to be honest, I don't really care because you see these shoes I got on my feet? Nigga, these $1,000. I'm just letting you know, like, I got
That's a nigga that, what do you have on? Giuseppe's or something?
They're Ferragamo's.
Oh, Ferragamo's, yeah.
So you have some Ferragamo's. And what's hilarious is, he's got, Kia was just like, bro, I just came into my job and remember that nigga with the Ferragamo's that flexed on me? He was like, I seen this nigga sleeping outside in his BMW or his Lexus or whatever it is he had. He was like, he got a joint and he's sleeping in the car with expired tags.
It's bad out here, man.
He was like, so you flexing on me with the shoes, flexing on me with the car, but you sleeping in the car, and the car has expired tags. So it's the same thing you saying. It's like, bro, like you flashing the money, but it's fine. Like, bro, it's fine.
Get it together, bro. Yeah,
it's fine, bro. You don't got it like that, and that's okay because most of us don't. So it's completely fine. Just rap about what's really going on. It's okay.
100%.
We'll respect it, and we'll probably connect to it more.
It's hard for people to do that nowadays, just because like I feel like the street nigga image is glorified, like on a level that's like, it's crazy, bro.
Do you think it's more so than it was when we were younger?
Hell yeah, because of IG. IG is showing these youngins like you know what I'm saying? You see niggas on the internet flashing guns and all types of money and drugs and shit. It's like, if y'all know how the real hustlers was doing this shit back in the 90s, they didn't want nobody to know what the fuck they was doing. Now, you creating a case for yourself on the internet, nigga. Like, use your common sense, bro. The fuck is you doing?
Guns,
too. Yeah, big boy shit, yeah,
like
big shit. You be like, the fuck, nigga, you about to go to Iraq,
bro? For real, it's like, yo, who are you going to war with? Like, how are y'all getting it? Yeah, that's why I don't. Yeah, that's
crazy,
why I just.
Man.
That's why I stay in this house and just read these books and talk to people. That's so far from any sort of life I want any parts of.
Stay the fuck out the way, man. Stay out the way. Do you?
And so when you're going in to write these things, like, what do you? Is there any sort of metric you can use to know that you're getting better, or do you just is all that matters is that you're just getting out what needs to get out? Like,
that's a good question. I actually was with my cousin. I saw him over the weekend, and we got up and I played him some new shit, and he's just always like, man, like, I've been listening to your music probably for like 5 years now. And he's like, every time I hear something, like, I could hear the progression of your music. He was like, so I just want to commend you on that, because I know you've been making music for a long time. So like, a lot of people get complacent and they don't want to challenge themselves when it comes to creating something. So he's like, you're not afraid to challenge yourself, put new flows on shit, see how it comes out. If it hit, it hit. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But he was like, honestly, like, I could see, or I could hear the progression in your music. So me personally, like, I could kind of say that I know I'm progressing when I'm writing it. But more so once I record the song, that's when I could be like, damn. And then I always go back and listen to my old shit just to see. So like, that'll be my metric. Like, if I feel like this sounds better than the last project or last song, then I'm moving in the right direction. Because some people just stay like the same, like, if that makes sense. Like, they keep giving you the same song. It sounds like the same song repeated over and over again. Kind of like, I like to call that the baby syndrome, because before he started releasing a lot of the new shit, a lot of his shit sounded exactly the same.
Right.
Like, the same shit.
Right. The same exact flow.
Like you
starting at 001, like as soon as the beat drops, like he's jumping in and rapping. Yeah, man. I remember that. And then he kind of try to like make jokes about it, you know what I mean? And just let you know, like, yeah, I know that I use the same flow and I just jump in every track like this.
Hey, that shit working for him.
I know, right?
When something is, just like we said, when something is working for you and you're reaping the benefits of that, it's going to be hard to stop. Hard to stop.
That's
bro.
exactly what that is.
Yep.
It's just like, damn, like maybe I try something else, but the fucking people love it.
Yeah.
So like, should I?
Why? Why should I?
They say if it's broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And now you're just looking at it as like, well, is it not broken because people like it a whole lot? Or should I think that maybe it's broken because this isn't what I want to do? This isn't really helping me artistically. But then again, why are you really doing it? If you're not doing it for the art, then I guess it doesn't really matter.
I could say, man, one thing I could say about the baby, bro, is I feel like that nigga is a very charismatic, like, person, especially when it comes to his music videos. Like, when it comes to music videos, that's a nigga that I admire. Because like, he's having fun, bro. You could tell the nigga is generally having fun. Like, when he makes his music videos.
Well, what's funny is I think he's done some interviews, and maybe on a track or two, like one of the probably 2 or 3 serious tracks that he does have, where he talks about his father and him and relationships. He has spoken about having to be the person that is sad. It's sort of like when we were talking about the makeup or you flexing on Snapchat with your shirt off. It's like you're giving so much of yourself, and that's not how you truly feel inside. Yeah. So he's like, you know, so the line is something along the lines of, do you know what it's like to have to keep a smile on, and inside you just feel like dead, pretty much. Like, it's the complete opposite. The smile is turned upside down. And so I think that it definitely looks as though he's having a ball running around and dancing and having it, because he's in some sense you could say it's like a newer iteration of Busta Rhymes, like the way Busta was throwing together
animated as hell in the music videos
stuff. Yeah, like a Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes, just real crazy, all sorts of different angles and shit being that you haven't really seen before. Yeah, he's like today's generation of that. For sure, I'd have to say.
For sure.
Yeah, I do like looking at people's evolution. We talked about the evolution of this podcast a little bit before we started recording.
Man, it's a blessing.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing to. You say you look back. Sometimes I'll go back and like listen to something small and be like, God,
that shit sounds horrible.
Horrible. Such a blessing that people continue to listen. Yeah, because you're like, why? Like this, the audio was trash. You could tell we were just trying to figure things out. We can't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just give it up. I'm thankful.
Though, man, like, you guys invested into what the fuck you wanted to do, and you're doing it.
Yeah.
Invest.
Yeah.
Invest, bro. I remember like when I first got my first set of recording equipment, I had a fucking cheap ass computer mic. Nerve and Ryan Richards taught me how to use the program. Yeah. So shout out to them.
Right.
I figured that shit out, and it didn't sound the best when I first got it, but you know, I progressively like saved my money and just invested in better quality over the years, man. Learn how to use the basic shit and then upgrade when you feel like it's time.
Yeah. So when it comes to your evolution, something I've seen, you said that some people, I don't know if it's just rap or not. I wouldn't say so. This is probably just people. People get caught up doing the same thing over and over and over. They don't want to challenge themselves by hopping on something that is outside of their comfort zone. I do like to see rappers, especially rappers, because rap is relatively new to music still, like in the grand scope.
This is the baby. Yeah,
exactly. And so to see Jay-Z get older,
still do it at a high level,
at a very high level, and the fact that he's rapping about the things that he's rapping about, I like it.
Yeah,
I like getting older and see someone rap about their children and their marriage and them investing in businesses and just talking about what this game is and trying to give game to the young ones coming up. Like I love all of that stuff. Like seeing a man grow into being a man and embracing that.
Yep.
J. Cole's another one for me, where if you go back to his stuff like the Sideline Story or Natural Born Sinner, is it
Born
Natural?
Sinner.
It's just Born Sinner.
Yeah.
Natural Born Sinner is a song by someone. Anyway, Born Sinner. There's a whole lot of him telling stories about running around New York and fucking mad women. And then there's some other stuff with him talking about, his mother and his stepfather and a lot of that traumatic sort of stuff that happened. But for the most part, it's him flexing and talking about fucking a lot of women. Right, exactly. He was new in the game. He's coming up. And I've really enjoyed watching him grow as a person.
Definitely.
I love the things that like I've seen him talk about through the ages and him just grow into this more mature version of himself.
Man, you know what's crazy, bro? I remember when J. Cole first dropped the warm up. That's like, I think his first project. I downloaded that shit. I listened to it and I was like, man, this is trash. So I gave it, yes. I said J. Cole was trash at one point. So I gave the CD. This is when we were burning CDs.
Right.
So I gave the CD to my man. And, I was high one night. He picked me up. I was high one night and he was playing it. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? This shit going right now. He's like, nigga, this that J. Cole CD you gave me. I'm like, what? And then from then, man, since I've been tapped on, like, I learned like you gotta really listen because like when he dropped, I was probably like maybe 20, 21. So it's like a lot of the shit that he was speaking, I didn't really comprehend it at the time. And I wasn't trying to understand it. Like, niggas is getting off what was you listening to at that time, man? Like, 2011, that was like the Roscoe Dash era, fucking Young LA, all that type of shit. So you go from that into a nigga like J. Cole spitting this a complete 360, bro. Like your mind is like, whoa, like going from being dumb as hell to like, okay, like this nigga talking about some shit. So yeah, like I just feel like it was hard for me to really understand what he was trying to do at that moment. But now I look at that nigga like the GOAT.
Yeah, nah, he's
GOAT, bro. It's no nigga that does it like him, man. No nigga that does it like him.
I was having this conversation. You know what doesn't... people understand that J. Cole's great or else he wouldn't be in the position that he's in.
Agreed.
But something that I don't think people give him enough credit on, and now when people hear this, they're going to go listen to him a little bit more. J. Cole raps in complete sentences.
Yes.
People don't realize how crazy that is.
Yes.
But he's rapping whole songs, telling stories and all sorts of other shit in complete sentences. Yeah. And they just happen to rhyme.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's a talent.
It's absolutely fucking insane. Bro. It's wild. Like it just seems like he's just talking to you.
It's effortless. Yeah.
It just seems like he's talking to you, but it just comes together with some sort of rhyme scheme. And I don't think people understand how difficult that is.
Yeah.
They don't, because one, people don't speak in complete sentences.
Yeah.
Most people you hear, there's a lot of oh, you know, hey,
you sounded like a Mexican real quick. You know, like,
but it's really like that, though.
Yeah.
For real. And so that's a huge thing that was in the Dale Carnegie book, that when I had to go back and listen to my old work and I was trying to figure out how to get better at what I was doing here.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things was just like I had to do earlier, slow your ass down.
Yep.
Think about what it is you want to say, formulate it, put it together, put it on the plate, right? If it's plated well, I work in food and beverage.
Right.
If it's plated well, it's cooked well, people are going to enjoy it.
Yep.
So it's really just that simple. There are a lot of likes and ums and ahs and things, and just, what I should say are just sentence fragments.
Yeah.
Filler
words.
People use mostly sentence fragments to get their ideas across. But speaking in full, complete sentences with subjects and predicates, all that not happening. So for someone to rap this way, their whole songs is absolutely insane.
Crazy.
It's absolutely insane. Crazy. So he's another one I like to see. But I do enjoy watching people's trajectories, people's evolution as people,
right?
And then therefore as artists, because you can only put out what's going
on the opposite end of the spectrum, you was just talking about Jay-Z,
right? And
no disrespect to this artist because he's a legend, but we look at a guy like Juicy J.
Okay, let's do
probably
it.
Like what, 43 years old, right? Sipping lean in my cup and fucked up.
That's exactly. That was perfect.
It's like, come on, bro. We want to hear some evolution from you. We know that that's your business and you done all that shit, but
do you think that he is not that person?
No, I don't think he's that person.
Okay.
At 43, 44 years
old. He's not still sipping lean and drinking Mad Bombay and just smoking blunts and having sex.
I mean, damn near everybody smoke weed, but
right.
Man, I don't think he's going crazy like how he was in 3-6 Mafia days.
So that was my only contention when I was talking to my man Mo on here about Drake's album. That was my only thing was, you're not going to get a bad album sonically from Drake. At all. He has a powerhouse working behind him. He knows melodies. He's going to put some stuff together. It's going to sound great. My only issue was, Mo asked, what would you want him to rap about, Earl? Yeah. And first of all, I think I prefaced everything was, Drake don't give a fuck about me, and he shouldn't, right? Like, I'm not his fan base.
Right.
Drake is trying to cater to the whole world, so he's already got a hard enough job on his shoulders.
Man.
Right? He's got to make all sorts of music.
Man.
So that he can tap into all of these billions of people that are listening to him. Yep. So I understand. Hard job, Drake. I get it. So I just wanted to preface everything with that. I feel like this because, as you said, when you sent me that song of yours, the Dr. Seuss and Bow Wow, and I told you a little about it, you said, I like that you listen to it on a deeper level.
Definitely.
I'm listening to some of Drake's lyrics, and when he does start to really get introspective, he tells you things like, my heart is vacant and lonely. Yeah. That's a bar from Champagne Poetry, the very first opening track. He has these songs of, my career is going great, but everything else of me is fading slowly. Yeah. And that's it. So I feel like there's more going on with him and that he would like to talk about more, but he's not in position to do that because he's as big as he is. Yeah. So he just can't really get that off on his albums. So so I wanted to see this evolution of Drake because he's getting older. And I want to see some more mature bars come from him. But again, he's not thinking about Earl. And that's completely fine. So he's just going to give me that. Juicy J is going to be sipping lean. Yeah.
In a double cup.
You can't forget in a double cup.
In a double cup.
You can't forget about the double cup. I remember when I learned what the whole double cup thing was about. I had no idea why people put it in another cup. Yeah. And then I did a little bit of research and it's that it leaks through the first cup. Like if it's promethazine and Sprite and all that, so it leans different. So you gotta have a double cup.
And a Jolly Rancher at the bottom.
And a Jolly Rancher at the bottom,
Yep.
right? That's a real like Southern way of doing it.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
That's how they do it. Never had lean.
Right.
To my discretion. Never had it.
Yeah, kids, leave it alone.
Leave it alone, bro. Liquid heroin.
So let's see. We just saw Juicy J. Oh, right. And this is one I've been thinking about pondering on recently. Wale.
That's one of my favorites.
He's a poet.
One of my favorites.
What do you believe? I've been asking so many people this question.
Yep.
What do you believe the disconnect to be with Wale with just the general
consensus?
Yeah. What's going on?
One is his personality.
Okay.
I've met him a couple of times.
Okay.
And he's he wasn't the nicest dude, but listening to his music, I understand that he doesn't really like being like a well-known person. So he's had issues struggling with like anxiety and things of that sort. So
right.
I mean, I could understand it. Like I met him at when he dropped the album About Nothing. I went up to DC. He released it at a place called the Commonwealth. And I walked in the line. He's passing out the CDs and shit. I reached out my hand to dap him up, and he just looked at me like, and then, gave me the little soft jump. And I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, I'm a young nigga sitting here looking at like one of my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? That shit kind of fucked me up a little bit. I was glad I got to see me, but I was like, damn.
Yeah,
like,
the hesitant dap.
Yeah, like, damn, I felt some type of way. But other than that, man, I just feel like, once again, his music is just, it's on a deeper level for the most part that people don't want to listen to it in that way. Like, Wale is typically an artist you got to sit there and really dissect and listen. Like, you can't just hear the shit and, bob your head. Yeah, you got to really listen, because he be saying a lot of shit in his music, man. He's a very deep thinking guy, which I can appreciate. I enjoy music that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, though.
So you think it's the way that his music is packaged? That it's not necessarily the content, because again, you have a Kendrick or a J. Cole,
very similar,
or Big Sean,
very very similar content. All of them are like in a similar lane, but I feel like Wale is always the one that has gotten looked over. And another reason is because he's always been very vocal about him feeling like he's being slighted.
That's why I brought it up, because you brought up Juicy J.
Feeling slighted. So if you keep putting that in the atmosphere, I feel like it's going to come back and people are going to be like, yeah, we are looking over you, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You think Juicy J album better than mine? That's what you telling me? So Kanye has clearly been a favorite for a lot of people
for sure.
For the fact that, because he has one of the personalities where everyone hates him and loves him for the same reasons. Yeah. Like, the reasons these people gonna love him, or the reason that these people hate him, vice versa, right?
Yep.
So what I'm thinking about with this Wale thing is either you love a line like that. You think Juicy J album better than mine? That was when he was talking like a complex editor or something like that.
Spazzing.
That's what you're telling me?
Spazzing.
You either love that because there's this childlike fervor and just honesty about him that he's got it. Like, so that's what you truly believe. Yeah. Like, I've been in the fucking booth spilling my heart and blood into this album. Yep. And what you telling me is that this nigga sipping lean out the
bands to make her dance. Bands to make her dance.
That's all you
all this shit, popping pussy. I'm just popping bands. Yeah, that. That type of shit, bro. And he made that song in the kitchen. He put that out there. He said he made that song in the kitchen.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I feel for Wale. Like, I know what he's talking about, bro. It's just the way that, again, even just his regular messages, not even on the music, the way they're packaged, that drive people away. Damn, man.
Yeah. But he's one of my favorites, though, man. Actually, he dropped a project for Lauren, too. And he got a song on there called Fluctuate. If you haven't listened to that, listen to that song, bro. It's fire.
That came after?
This just dropped.
Oh, this
maybe
just
like
dropped.
2 months ago.
Oh, yeah. Then I didn't hear that.
Fluctuate.
Oh, okay.
Seamless plug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You like the one before that, too?
I like all of Wale's music, man. Okay. I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan. I feel like he's the outcast of the DMV because, once again, he's not a street rapper. So once again, I feel like he gets overlooked. He's not like a Shy Glizzy or a No Savage or a Fat Trail, who are great artists in their own respective lane. But yeah, I just feel like he's not really respected because he's not a street nigga.
Oh man. Oh goodness gracious. You know, I saw Wale in concert years ago. I think my brother was down at ODU.
Oh, ODU.
At ODU at a point in time. And I was young, probably around the same age, like 20, 21, something along the lines of that. And no, so yeah. Actually, yes, I was, and I know why now. So we go in the venue. It was like kind of like an intimate venue. I kind of like those. Like what's one that we have around here that's intimate? Like the
Fillmore. I would say
the Fillmore's intimate.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the other one? There's one called like I'm about to fuck this up, but it's like the 380 Club?
930
930 Club.
Yeah,
there it is.
He used to frequent that spot.
Okay. And so we go into this intimate spot, and he's about to have someone open for him. And this kid runs out there. He's got like a yellow bubble vest like on. He's like, I just got signed to, I think at the time it was still Rockefeller, not Rock Nation. He was like, I just got signed to Rockefeller. Like, I'm going to be the next biggest thing, blah, blah, blah. And we just like, nigga, if you don't get off the stage so we can listen to Wale, like, do your little songs and get off.
Damn.
And then a few years later, I realized who that person was, and I called my brother, and I'm like, yo, do you realize that we saw J. Cole in concert before he was J. Cole? And he was like, yo, I swear I just realized this like a month ago. That was fucking J. Cole that ran out on their stage talking about, I'm gonna be the next biggest thing. Like, y'all gonna remember my name. And we were like, all right, cool, kid. Like, you rap nice. Like, you rap nice. Like, we like it, but we're here to see Wale.
Damn.
And so the way that I know, well, the way that we perceive Wale to be feeling about his music and about being a competitor in the game, knowing that J. Cole opened for him, that he was an opener for him at a point in time.
Yeah.
And then became
that guy.
That guy. Even though I know they're still making music together, and they're still cool.
Yeah.
I'm certain that there's some sort of tension in his heart that happened. Like, this motherfucker was. Are you serious?
Yeah.
This really just happened? He just took off?
Took off, man.
It's rough.
Took off.
That's rough, man.
Yeah.
You had a line in which is to this day my favorite of your. When I tell you, I don't know how corny this is. I don't really care. Your song "Stilo Story." I don't know how many times I've said this to you.
That's personally one of my favorite songs that I've written. Yeah, one of my favorites.
I know every single line. So, by the way, I mean, you sent me the lyrics so that we could play it. You know what I mean on the pod. I forgot what episode that was. It's either 17 or 37. One of those episodes.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the episode? I think it's like "Wanna Be Me" or "Need to Wanna Be Me." That's the name of the episode. If you want to go back and listen to that, there's one of his songs playing. We're gonna play a couple of your songs on this episode
for
too.
Sure.
You said towards the end, man, I usually have to do it, but you said, my music hit different. Come be my apprentice. That's what you said. Yeah. You said you were chosen.
Yeah.
You felt like you were chosen. My music hit different. Come be my apprentice. One, that's fucking hilarious, bro. That's a fucking hilarious. I don't mean to brag, little nigga. I'm chosen. My music hit different. Come be my apprentice. Is a fucking hilarious set of lines next to each other. And I want to ask you if you truly felt like whatever it is that was given to you, it was just, there's just something in you that just can't be, because I'm thinking about Wale and J. Cole just surpassing him. With Wale, all of his acumen in writing, in that if you feel like sometimes people are just given a thing, a light, and you can learn how to do this thing, you can take your classes on it, that's fine. But I just happen to have this other thing that can't be faked, it can't be learned, it can't be manufactured. My shit just happens to hit a little different.
Definitely. And I feel that way, especially with just like the music in today's climate. I mean, you would know the difference. I tell everybody, you listen to what's out now, you listen to something that I put out, and you'll just hear the difference. I mean, I really
And it's just like an X factor. It's just
yeah, bro. You'll notice the difference.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that perfectly aligns with when you're saying you're talking to someone and you just know that this is either phony or
you see right through it. With me, you see what you get, bro. Like I don't try to be this Hollywood, figure. I'm a regular dude and I just love to make music.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay, I'm with that. I've been becoming a whole lot more understanding of all different people that make art in all different sorts of ways.
For sure.
Sometimes I come across some people that do live this makeshift Hollywood life here locally.
They try to anyway.
Yeah, they try to, and that's why I said this makeshift Hollywood life. And, I look at them sometimes and I just think, I guess that's just where you're at. I guess that's just what you were given and that's where you're at. And you got to cope with the reality of things, however it is that you have to cope with it. And that maybe this is one of your ways. Maybe
pray for them.
In a sense.
Send them some prayer.
Yeah.
Send those people some prayer, man. Let the Lord be your strength.
walk with faith.
Facts.
Walk with faith.
Facts.
What have you've came on this podcast in music form.
Yes.
You're now here in physical form. You've listened to.
Appreciate it too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
man.
For sure.
It's I didn't say this. It's a pleasure being here. That was one of the first things I was supposed to say at the beginning.
No, it's fine. We were going to get you on here whenever we could. And this won't be the last time either.
For sure.
This won't be the last time. Is there anything that you have seen or heard, interacted with within the pod that you would like to talk about? Anything that has spoken to you at all?
Shit, I think it was honestly the last pod that you and Keon was talking about. Just like how, he's kind of in a place with his job where he's just like, yo, this ain't it. And I'm sitting there driving back from my job thinking the same shit, listening to him on a podcast. Like, yo, this shit ain't it right now. Like, I gotta make some shake.
Right.
So, like, I mean, I always respect all of y'all's transparency, like when it comes to being on this podcast, because it really resonates with a lot of people, man.
Yeah. Keon's getting a lot better at it. Keon he just took a whole leap. He's been getting much better recently.
Definitely.
He's feeling himself recently.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. Once again, the evolution. I love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm proud of him. He's been, bearing a whole lot more of his heart on his sleeve. Like he's been putting it all out there. You get a whole lot more confidence when you take a leap thinking that you're going to fall and then you end up flying. So
I like that.
So yeah, so he's definitely feeling himself and he's getting a whole lot better at, again, like I said, wearing his heart on his sleeve, bearing his soul in front of the microphones and in front of the camera.
Yeah. Podcast, rap, same shit, man. We just trying to bring you some genuine content, throw it out there and have the people respond how they respond, man. Hopefully it's in a positive light.
Yeah, I hear about people. I have people talk to me about different sorts of podcasts all the time. And there's so many types, like there's so much music out there.
Yeah.
And you just kind of realize that, I mean, when you hear about these other podcasts or maybe you hear about other musicians, you kind of just understand that you couldn't do it any differently.
Yeah.
So there's so many other things that people like to interact with. Some people just want to hear jokes for 2 hours. And it's like, I just want to hear people say a bunch of completely thoughtless, just dumb shit for 2 hours. Cause that's just how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
I just want to get out of thinking and just laugh. I just want to have somebody make me laugh and just talk about fucking fart jokes and racist jokes and just whatever the wildest shit someone can say. I just want to hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I couldn't bring myself to do that. That's not who I am. So like, this is what I got in me.
Yeah.
Like, this is all I got. So when you say the genuine, thing, I just can't do anything else. Like, I don't got anything else in me. Every once in a while, the joke may fly off. We have fun on here.
Right.
but I got nothing else in the arsenal. Like, this is whatever they get through here. This is who I am. And if you're looking for something else, this just isn't the place.
That's like me getting on a track talking about, I'll shoot you in your face with the Mac, got the coke in my lap. Like, they be like, this nigga Rashad is not no shooter. The fuck is he talking about? He does not sell drugs. This nigga works out. You know what I'm saying? Be eating his little salmon plates. The fuck is he talking about shooting people?
With the coke in his lap.
It's wild out here, bro. It gets wicked.
Oh, man, yeah. But I will say that about this podcast, if I can. This isn't even really tooting my own horn. This is really just an observation I've made, is that when I look back, I listen back, I have been so proud of the moments that have been captured through this podcast.
Yeah.
All the people I've had come through and all the information and all the vulnerability that people have had about whatever the fuck it is that we happen to be talking about that day. Like, these are moments that are just going to live on. All these people are going to be able to come back and listen to all this stuff as much as they want to and come back and have more conversation. They're constantly telling me it's conversation that they haven't had elsewhere.
Yeah.
So this is dope. For me, Keanu and I used to do these things called meaningfulness questions. We had like little cards and we would answer them every week. And I remember what success being to us as individuals was a card. It was a question. Because everyone's got their own idea of how successful they want to be and what that 100%. What that success even is. And I know that for me, people usually ask what it is I'm doing or what I'm about, or where I'm moving towards. It's quite simple. It's not. It's like there's like a complex simplicity to it, but it's really just that I'm trying to evolve into the most admirable version of myself in any given moment, because every moment is another opportunity to do so in just a smaller, in some small way, or maybe a big way, whatever. But I'm just trying to do that in every way, shape, form, fashion.
The level up.
Just the constant level up. The constant level up. And so you hear a lot of that through this podcast. It's just what this podcast happens to be, because that's constantly at the forefront of my mind.
Right.
This happens to be a question that I ask most people that come here. What is on the forefront of your mind these days? Like
the forefront
of your mind.
Getting more exposure for this music.
Okay.
I go to sleep thinking about that shit. I wake up thinking about that shit. Like, it's just, getting more comfortable with putting yourself out there, because that was one thing that it took a lot for me to do, like, is really put yourself out there as an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it's just like, with I feel like so many people fronting on IG, like the people that really love this shit, like it kind of puts them in a weird position, because it's like, damn, like I don't want to be seen like I'm like everybody else, but this is really my passion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's another conversation I had with one of my bros. He's like, bro, like, this is your passion, my nigga. Like, you've been doing this shit for as long as I can remember. Like, you're not just popping out of the woodworks, like, trying to make music. So if that's who you are, which I know that's who you are, why are you afraid to give that to the world? So that's something, that was a hump that I had to get over.
I could imagine that, because I remember you just be funny and don't be trying to be, I swear to God, sometimes. So on America's Threat, which is a very serious song with some very serious bars in it, there's like a small intermission in between, and you just like, I'm never gonna be one of them type of niggas that just be in your DMs like, yo, come listen to my shit.
Music. Yeah, no, never.
You're like, this is corny. Stop it.
It is, bro. Because people do that shit all the time. Like, yo, listen to my music. It's like, my nigga, if I want to listen to it, I'm going to be the one that clicks on the link and listen to your music the same way that I want you to do for me. Right. I'm never going to slide on some, hey, yo, check my shit out, bro. That shit is fire. No, man, let the people decide what it is.
So you've had to find a balance of putting your stuff out there for people to find and be the one to choose to listen to it, but at the same time not being too intrusive, like trying to force people. So you can't force shit on people, bro.
So
what's the balance look like? Just just placing it out there,
placing
just stepping it away.
There, yeah, placing it out there, putting your all into it,
right?
Placing it out there,
right? Second,
just seeing what happens,
and then
bro.
stepping back there,
stepping back and seeing
putting
what
your
happens.
all into it. Step one, putting it out there. Step two, taking a step back. Step three.
That's it.
Okay,
that's it, bro.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I've been the same exact person.
Mm-hmm.
I've been the same exact person because I mean, I've gotten a whole lot better about editing all this stuff and putting,
I've been saying this shit on the Snap lately, the clips and shit like that.
Putting on Snap, Instagram, so
yes, sir.
Putting them out there. And you're right, for the same exact reason. One, because I'm not just like huge in social media.
Yeah,
so
I fucking hate social media, bro. I'll tell you that straight up.
What's your main fight with it? Like, what's
the bullshit, the dumb shit? Like, it's toxic,
just fronting.
Yeah, it's fronting. It's toxic. One thing that I encourage everybody to do, that has social media is I challenge you to take a month away from social media where you detox. Where you detox, bro, and just live life. Don't worry about nothing. I do that shit all the time. I do it like maybe 3 times a year where I just take a detox from social media and just live my life because like I feel like society makes it seem like you have to have social media right now. And you really don't. Like, what were we doing before social media? Going out, enjoying life. I hear you talk about it on all of your podcasts. Like, it was a point in time where people didn't have their phones down. It would just be this. Let's sit here and rap, bro. We're going to have a conversation, an intellectual conversation, learn about each other, and just be better overall. Now, you in a group. Yeah, what's up, bro? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The nigga just be in their phone. Bro. It's like, come on, man. Like, we here. Let's vibe. Let's connect.
Yeah.
Like, let's. Yeah.
It's the worst. I've also spoken about when someone's trying to talk about something that actually fucking matters to them.
Yeah.
And somebody picks up their phone and starts scrolling. Yeah. And they're just like, yo, but you see this video though? And you just like, nigga, I just told you that my grandma died.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
doing, bro?
What are you talking about right now? It's crazy because, and you know, I don't even hold this against him because, again, I'm trying to be cognizant of a lot of things. I'm trying to be cognizant of the fact that, one, this person's attention is shit to begin with.
Yeah.
2, this person may not necessarily feel the most comfortable trying to reach out and have a hard discussion. I know a lot of people that, again, deal with things in a lot of different ways. Sometimes when it comes to speaking about things that are difficult, people just try to laugh and joke their way through it.
Yeah, laugh through the pain.
That's the best that they got. Some people just clam up, don't know what to do. Some people, if they got to have that conversation, they just like fiddle with things and look around because they just can't attack it head on.
Right.
You know, so I'm cognizant of these things. Again, everyone is not where I am in that moment, and I haven't always been where I am in this moment. Right. So that's fine. I get that. I was talking to a friend of mine about the fact that my grandma had passed.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker was watching TV as, like, first of all, I should say this person called me to talk about it.
Yeah,
I didn't go out of they called me to talk to me about it. And they were like, it was FaceTime and they were watching TV as they were talking to me about it. And I'm like, you know, I'm having the conversation, but I'm also just like, all right, man, like I get what's going on here.
Yeah.
I get it's fine, but it's also not at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to remain, conscious of other people's realities. So I'm like, listen, you called, you had great intentions, and we're having a pseudo conversation about it. Exactly. And it also happened with another person of mine. We were on the phone and he was cooked. He was cooked.
Yeah.
And so that just probably wasn't the time to have the conversation, but he wanted to talk to me about it and was asking me how I was dealing with it. And within my answer, they got distracted with somebody else that was like in the area. Like about, I think they were just had to pass the blunt or whatever. And they started passing the blunt and then like,
oh, nah.
And then so I didn't let them know of what they did in the moment. And maybe I should go back and let them know because they might want to know.
Yeah.
Want to know. Shiffy P's, one of his latest tracks. Go check it out. It's on all streaming platforms, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And so yeah, I just kind of switched the conversation really fast, and clearly they hide and they're inattentive, so they didn't know what just took place. So we never even got around to what it was I was talking about. But I should probably hit them back and let them know, and they'll probably know who they are because they actually listen to this podcast. Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah. So that does happen when people just completely, mindless. But all right,
take that detox. I promise you, it'll put some shit in perspective. It was one point, bro, where I didn't have a phone for a year.
Oh,
no phone for a year, bro. I was using my mom's phone, emailing only the close people that I needed to. Emailing, bro. I was primitive, bro. I was primitive for a year.
That's great. I love that.
For a year, man. If you fuck with me, you email me.
That's fucking, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's very true. It's like, because the question, how much do you fuck with me? Like, if you really, really want to get in contact with me, you can.
You know how.
But you're just gonna, that's very true.
That's
fucking hilarious.
That's like you bumping into like a mutual friend of somebody. And they're like, yeah, so how's such and such doing? Nigga, you got their number. Why don't you hit them up? Why are you asking me how they doing?
That's like the go-to. I think that's most people's go-to. It's like, yeah, how's so-and-so doing? Like, nigga, we both right here. Yeah. You asking me about a third party. Like, why? Like, what is this? But it's just people's comfortability. Like, it's like, okay, who do I know that they know? Oh, this person. You spoken to them recently? Like, remember that one time 5 years ago when we saw each other over at that pizza spot? That was crazy, right? Yeah,
man. That's crazy.
Yeah, they do have good pizza there. Yeah, I guess so.
Crazy.
I would say, yes, take a detox. Try the challenge. Again, challenge yourself. Also, if you're not going to do that and you want to maybe try that in some form, fashion, but still be able to interact with social media, try to do it in a more mindful way. Yeah. Like, stop just the mindless scrolling. Look at the things that you're looking at. Like, one, who are you following? Are you just following just people just because they followed you? Yeah. Are you following them simply because why are you following them? Do you like their content? Do you interact with their content? Is it okay to, here's some things that I just don't know about social media. I'm just going to start asking. People are going to be like, yeah, you're old and washed. I'm not necessarily so privy to the rules and regulations of interaction on social media. So for me, because I'm a real person, right, I assume that if we're friends on social media,
you don't gotta like my shit.
I don't have to like it. You don't have to like mine, right? Like vice versa. I don't have to like yours. You don't have to like mine. Right. If I would like to interact or comment, that's completely cool and it's not weird. Yeah. If I want to give you like a personal message, that's not weird. Because if it is weird, then we probably just shouldn't be friends on there. Like I don't want to have that interaction. Then if like we're like these social media friends with a smaller list of appropriate interactions. Right. I don't really want to do that where it's like, it's okay for me to like this, but I can't like too many because then maybe I'm weird or I'm doing too much. It's sort of like me telling you that I enjoy the Stilo story and that I know all the lyrics. Some people might be like, nigga, that's dick sucking, right? So I don't really know about these rules and regulations. I just know about speaking what's true to me. Yeah. So
that's how it should be, bro. People come up with all these fucking rules and regulations. Like it's just dumb. You can't show somebody some love. If you show somebody love, you're a dick rider. If you don't like something that somebody does,
you're a hater.
So it's hard to win, bro. Yeah, it's hard to win. I feel like, and once again, it just comes with your intentions. Mm-hmm. If what you're saying is how you really feel, then that's just what it is. But if you're just saying it to try to knock somebody, then that's a problem on your end.
Oh yeah, that's super great. Oh yeah, I'm definitely not on social media. I have a hard time. I leave good in it. Maybe it shouldn't be this way. I leave good reviews for restaurants and places of such sorts that I've been to, especially if the service is great. I met someone awesome there. The food was awesome. But I don't leave bad reviews, and maybe I should keep it real on both sides. I don't know. I just know that I don't leave bad reviews for places. I just don't go back.
I respect that.
I just don't go back.
One and done.
Yeah, that's all. You just got my money that one time. You hit a lick on me. That's cool. Mm-hmm. You just won't get it again. That's fine. Facts. So when it comes to Artistry or anything. Like I'm not leaving bad comments. Like I just won't interact with it.
Same.
But I'm not going to go on and comment.
Nigga, that shit sucks. That shit is poop.
Yeah. Like there is when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah.
Like
that's a fact.
Like there's just sometimes it's just like keeping it. It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's just keeping it too
some
real.
Things, like some things don't need to be said.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I just won't. If you notice that I commented on these types of things and I like these things, but then I just say nothing about this, there you go.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
Like I'm definitely not doing that. That's kind of crazy. But it's also interesting to me, people that just put out. Now, again, I was this person at some point in time. I'm certain if you go back far enough, you can find some pictures of me just flicking the camera off.
Oh, yeah.
And some shit like that.
Typical nigga shit.
I'm certain of it. Interesting enough to me when people get older and they're like their late 20s, early 30s, and their screen names and their screen names. I'm definitely old as fuck.
Shiznit shot. That was me.
Yeah.
Putting up my way message. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You had to let niggas know you was leaving.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm about to go drink some Kool-Aid real quick. I'll be back to the computer screen in about 30 seconds. Yeah. We old.
Yo, AIM was dope, man. I
AIM
used
was
to
the
love
shit.
AIM so much.
AIM was the
Little
shit.
chat rooms and shit.
Hell yeah.
But people's just, their handles or whatever, their profile names just being shit like, fuck the haters, fuck you too, or, you know what I mean? You ain't shit, bitch. Like I'm like, bro, I can't interact with your page.
Yeah.
Like, just off the simple fact that you are 35 with 3 children and your name is fuck you, bitch. Like, I'm like, yo, I can't. I'm like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, man. I can't call it, bro. That's like me, though. I never really put my real name on social media. I just make up dumbass names. Yeah. I think right now, my IG name is Father Third Good. You know, I just make up dumb shit.
Father Third
Good, man. That's who I am. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Yeah, so pretty much my recommendation, accompanying your recommendation, is if you're gonna do it, just interact mindfully with the stuff that's going on your pages.
Agreed.
That's on your feed. Again, to me, you are feeding yourself with the feed, right? So it's just, is it clean eating? Mm-hmm. Is it junk food? Mm-hmm. What are you ingesting? What are you digesting? It matters.
Very true.
That's all I got on that. I do ask that everybody that comes here on the Any Last Word Pod leave, as you know, with some last words for the people. So if you have nothing else that you would like to speak about in particular, man, we can get into these last words.
My last words to everybody is just be grateful, man. There's a lot of shit that's going on out in this world, a lot of problems, a lot of issues. If you think you have it bad, somebody probably has it way worse than you. That's one thing that I'm realizing being in Seattle. Like, it's a lot of, like heroin addicts and homeless people. So like down my strip, I live on a strip called Broadway. So it's like I drive down the strip. I see people laying on boxes with a bunch of blankets on, just sleeping in front of stores. You know what I'm saying? They be cold as shit outside. Like, they just out there, bro. Just out there trying to find a way, just man.
Battling the elements.
Yeah, so definitely be grateful, man, because it could be worse. Appreciate your blessings.
Good song as well, and I shared it with some friends. Grateful of yours.
Oh, appreciate it.
Featuring who's it? Lucy? Is that how you say it?
Shout out Miss Lucy, man. Yeah, I've known her for a minute. We used to work at Burger King together.
Oh, word.
Yeah, so
that's what you did. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you had the Burger King plug that you said before.
Facts. I was the plug.
Do you still have like a fast food place where like
no?
Oh, okay, I didn't know if you have a cheat day.
Chick-fil-A every now and then.
Right.
But other than that, you won't catch me at McDonald's, none of that shit.
The McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Taco Bell. Yo, the one that killed me was Captain D's. I think, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. No. When I say killed me, I never went there.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
No.
Yo, boy.
But that's what I'm saying. The fact that Captain D's is a fucking place. Like,
yeah.
I never was able to like mentally process the idea of fast food seafood.
Yeah, like Long John Silver's type shit.
Long John Silver's, Captain D's. I'm like,
Yeah,
yo.
my aunt used to crush Captain D's.
Yeah? Man. Fast food
Like, Shaw,
seafood.
you want some Captain D's? No, thank you, auntie. I do not want no Captain D's at all.
That's absolutely insane. But back in the day, what was your thing from Burger King?
Oh man, double stacker.
Okay.
That was like a double patty, bacon, $1,000 dressing. That shit was fire. They had the rodeo burgers. That was like a cheeseburger with onion rings and barbecue sauce.
This stuff is just crack.
Chicken fries, bro. You remember the chicken fries in Burger King?
No. Oh, wait, I may have.
The little chicken fries, that was it. I mean, oh shit. When I used to eat pork, they did come out with ribs one time. And those things was hitting. I put it on everything, bro. Burger King had ribs and they were fire.
Oh, and it wasn't even like McDonald's does the McRib.
Nah, the
like
McRib.
it was just
It was
a
ribs,
rack
bro.
of ribs. Just
Yeah,
you got a
little
full-
bite-sized jumps. Yeah, and them shits was fire. Fire.
Yo, all this stuff, and this is what's terrible about it is you can, as we're talking about it, and we probably just did this podcast disjustice, because people are gonna hear this stuff. They're gonna hear our sultry voices saying these things. This is gonna act like as marketing. They're gonna be like, damn. Matter of fact, let me go grab this shit right now.
I do remember them chicken fries.
Oh, that $1,000 dressing. I can taste the grease pouring out. I can taste
Man, the flame broiledness.
the char.
Man.
The char on the top. I can feel the sesame seeds on the top of the bun right now.
Don't do it to him.
The cheese melting all over it. The crispy bacon.
Man.
The sauteed onions.
Woo. Don't do it.
Mine was I would go anywhere and get the biggest of anything.
Okay.
If it was McDonald's, I'm
getting a quarter pounder.
Did they have the double quarter pounder?
They did have a double.
Then that's what it is.
My heart hurt just thinking about that.
At one point, I'm like, yo, do y'all just got the pounder? Like, I don't want the double, the trip. I want the pound. Like, how many patties can y'all put on here? Bro, in the days where because I don't smoke anymore, but the days where I was getting hella high, there's no undefeated, bro. Undefeated. You couldn't stop me.
Yeah. Undefeated.
Bro, there was a point in time when I went somewhere with oh my God, Nick. Shout out to Nick. Nick, I know you listen to this. Where it would be, I think I went and I got the double quarter pounder. I was super high. I think I hit the bong. And the bong just goes straight, don't get me crazy. And I had got two double cheeseburgers and a large fry and a large M&M McFlurry. There's no reason why anybody should eat
all that in one sitting.
All of that in one sitting.
That was me, man, too. I was addicted to McDonald's, bro. Like, crazy thing is, I was addicted to fast food. I work at Burger King. Eat Burger King food. It's a McDonald's directly across the street. On my lunch break, I would go eat McDonald's and then come back and eat Burger King. Yeah. That's a problem, bro. Like, people don't understand. Fast food is really addictive.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. Yeah.
Bro.
It really is.
It's crack.
Yeah, fuck all that now.
Yeah. Nah. You just gotta, because people think that, like, you or I might just be eating deer food. Yeah. And it's not, because if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So you thinking like, oh, I just gotta eat fucking like spinach leaves and cranberries. I don't want to do that. Yeah. They don't know that you can make stuff that tastes amazing.
Fire. And I just heard you got that air fryer, bro.
Boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I did not know.
Man.
I did not know.
My sister got me hip in 2017, and I've been on it since.
Yep. Keep everything nice and crispy and juicy on the inside.
Wings still hit.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes no funny shit. Fucking the juice be spraying out of that shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said no funny shit, you know. It's great, man.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And also, before I give my last words, on that same note, when I was talking about the feed, like your social media feed, I had a friend asking me, she was like, I don't understand why there's so much great, fulfilling, substantial content out there
Mm-hmm.
but people would choose to just go listen to the negative or a bunch of the bullshit that doesn't teach you anything or give you any insight to anything. And I'm like, oh, that's so adorable of you.
Yeah.
You remember that thing called fast food? It's the same thing,
man.
It's just easy. It's just right there, and it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's on every corner you look, and it's right there, and it's cheap. You can get through it in 30 seconds or a minute if we're talking about some TikToks or whatever the fuck it is. It's just easy. It's easily done. There's no work that goes into it at all. So the same way that you see people not going and getting the salads and with just, some chicken breasts and some healthy thing, like Jessica was on here.
Yeah, shout out Jessica, man.
For sure. And I was asking her what she was eating. She was like, things where you can look at it and it's just
one
that
ingredient.
raw thing. It's one ingredient.
One ingredient.
You know exactly what that thing is. This is quinoa. This is rice. This is chicken. This is a green bean. Yeah. This is asparagus. This is a spinach leaf. This is a fish. Like, easy.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
So, and Ryan was on that too. Clearly, he's a clean eater now. He was talking about, well, are you here to eat to live or to live to eat? Like, what's more important to you? What are we doing here? So we've talked a lot about mouth pleasure on this podcast.
Ryan was working at Burger King with me too at one point, man. You know what I'm saying? We came a long way.
Came out the trenches together.
A long way, man. Shout out that man. Yeah.
So yeah, another thing, if I've had another recommendation on here for people, as I've already made on here before, you can take the social media cleanse. Yep. You can just try to interact with social media a little bit more mindfully, if you will, taking a look into the things that you really want to look into, not just scrolling because you find yourself bored. Mm-hmm. We've talked about boredom on here. That's just its own paradox. So I don't even know how you truly cure that. Mm-hmm. Because you may just truly be a boring person in a sense if you find yourself constantly bored.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's just, again, it's more so the way that you're interacting with the world than it is the way that the world is set up. So that's an interesting paradox I don't know how to cure. And then also when it comes to digesting information and looking for content, it doesn't mean always run to the Any Last Words pod. Yeah. But it just
run to the Any Last Words pod. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll let someone else say that. I can do that.
I highly recommend it.
But just try to find something that gives you the best of both worlds. Maybe find some stuff that's funny, but also informational and insightful, spiritual, whatever it is that you're finding yourself really looking for in a superficial, shallow way with other things. I don't know. Talk to some people. Google is always available. Try to find something that's a bit more substantial. Click in whatever it is that you like. Click in maybe the word like mindfulness before that word. And maybe you'll find something that has a bit more depth to it.
Yes, sir. Listen to that man.
So my last words for the people. 1, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, brother.
Long awaited.
Yeah. Oh, can I say one story, bro?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We go?
1,000%.
My girl gonna be mad at me because I'm a little late, but this had to be done. I'm sorry, babe. But you and I met a long time ago.
Okay.
We were dating 2 ladies that were friends.
Oh my God.
And we were hanging out at the infamous Sumner Lake Pond. I'm not going to say those ladies' names.
Okay.
Is this ringing a bell?
Hold on a second.
I meant to bring this up earlier in the podcast, bro.
This is funny because I couldn't quite stamp exactly when we met, but I do know that there was a whole lot like the Fast Life birth back in the day when Henry and Buck and everybody was rapping together, and you were affiliated with a lot of the music going on then, so I knew we saw each other in coming and goings back then.
Yeah.
Okay, so a long time ago, you and I were dating 2 ladies, and they are friends.
They were friends.
And we met. Okay, and we're gonna definitely talk about this off air for a second. That is hilarious because this is ringing a bell. I just can't be certain who it is because I dated a few people over the course of the years.
Oh, for sure.
And especially it's funny because we're talking about as being a young kid doing things within your means, right? Like Sweetwater Tavern.
Yeah, that was out of the budget. 18, that's out of the budget, shawty. Yeah.
So Sumner Lake was the place to take girls.
You get a nice little walk, hold a hand. You might get a little kiss. You know what I'm saying?
Easy. That was it. Yeah, beautiful.
That's it.
So needless to say, I had taken quite a few people to that location. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. All right, episode 102 of the Any Last Words Pod.
Hey man, everybody be safe, man. Be safe.
Be safe. Take care of yourself. Maybe I should go back and let them know because they might want to know.
Yeah.
Want to know Shiffy P's one of his latest tracks. Go check it out. It's on all streaming platforms, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Niggas wanna know what I'm about. I watch my mother just go through it. Then I fell asleep on the couch. That made the heathen come out. I was blessed with a reason to shout. You did not hit my phone through the struggle, so I'm not needing you now. The weather is hot, my season is present. I look in the mirror, keep my reflection. She on my jock, but I do not sweat it. Cause when I bust it, I'ma get this shit wetter. Told these niggas get their music together. Beat the flu on me and soup with the cheddar. It's whatever.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. I thank God that I'm healthy, nigga. Toast me the hoop and I slam, boy. I bought with the best, and this is my building, so bitch, I'm the landlord. Whoa, boy, I'm the king with the flows. I heard that you think you the greatest. It's false information, you play with your nose. I got an A for the smoke, it's all that I need, I still remain focused. The mission to go triple platinum, but learn from my family to still keep it golden. Man, I cannot even hold you. I got the bloodline of a soldier. Chillin' with Rue and a Rover. That was back in Arizona. Now it's my time that I shine. A glass full of wine is here for the culture. I told him that if the girl fine and she hit my line, then cookie love smoking. I'm not a rookie, this roaches. I see that you look and take notice. Cause I'm on my way ashing roaches. Making bangers that cause a commotion. You think you can rap, I'm the coldest, I going. Yeah. Niggas wanna know